We are here in Nanaimo, British Columbia. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon. It is 20 plus degrees. It is sunny, and Cole, it looks like football weather to me, my friend.
Football is back in the Harbor City. No, I'm fired up. Our debut up here in the broadcast, buddy. I'm looking forward to this one.
It's a tremendous matchup today between the Valley Huskers, who gave the VI Raiders all they could handle last year here at the Q Stadium in Nanaimo, but the Raiders ultimately coming out victorious. If this game is half as good as that one was, we are in for an absolute barn burner today, as the kick will be returned, and it's out past the 10 to the 20. We got something here. The Raiders down the right sideline, and a nice-looking return there by number 10. That's Jacob Celso running it down the right sideline. A good start there for the Raiders, Cole. Good field position.
Yeah, interested to see how they come out offensively here. A little bit of a lull I should say 2 weeks ago in Okanagan for the VI Raiders offense. We're going to be interested to see how they come out here early on today.
And that brings out the York transfer, Braden Jupe, who is making his third start here for the Raiders. It was a bit of an up-and-down week last week against the Okanagan Sun in the Apple Bowl. He threw 2 picks. He fumbled once, but he was 17 of 20, so that completion percentage is looking good. They're going to put him in the shotgun, 2 to the top of the screen, 3 to the bottom, and they fake the give, and he's going to take a shot on first down. He's got Bonsu open, and he overthrows him.
Unfortunate, just miscommunication there. The timing weren't on the same page, both quarterback and receiver. I know something they want to establish here today is trying to get the ball into Ruben Bonsu's hands early and often. It'll be interesting to see if they're able to execute.
Good little RPO action there for the Raiders, sticking it in the belly of the back, riding the fake, and good eyes by Jupe. He saw Bonsu pull behind coverage downfield, but the ball just a little too far for Ruben Bonsu. So that'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 after the first down incompletion, and they put Blaze McCarty down at the bottom of your screen. They've got Bonsu lined up in the Y position in the middle there. And Braden Jupe, he is looking to keep that completion percentage high, and it is just a 3-man rush for the Huskers, and Jupe has time. He fires down the middle. Mossgrip's open. Mossgrip makes the catch. He goes up and pulls it down in double coverage. He points for the first down, and this crowd here in Nanaimo, Cole, goes crazy.
Mossgrip's a fantastic player for the VI Raiders offense. He's a very versatile player for the offense as well. High floor, even higher ceiling for this guy, as he is still in his 3rd year of eligibility in the BCFC.
Mossgrip standing 6'4" plus. He is a big and a good-looking target out of John Barsby High School, a local product here in Nanaimo. Jupe calling out the signals. He's calling that protection out to the offensive line. Jacob Celso, the slot receiver at the top of your screen, and he comes in motion, and they fake the jet to him, and they give it inside to Rondé Lyle, and Rondé Lyle carries ahead, and he's got a gain of about 5 there. So good first down production there for the Raiders, Cole.
We talked about this pregame, Noah. I think Rondé Lyle is going to be a very focal point of the offense here, not only today but for the rest of the season for the Raiders. If they're able to put themselves in the second and manageable situations, I think it not only helps Braden Jupe, but it helps out the rest of the offense.
Staying ahead of schedule, so important in the Canadian game. You only have 2 downs, so you got to get good production on first down. As offensive coordinator Jake LeBerge always tells me, staying ahead of schedule, you can have your whole playbook open on 2nd and 5. Not so much on 2nd and 11 and 12 against some of these exotic pressures you're going to see. And here is a 2nd down and about 6, and Jupe will give it to Lyle again. He's off the right side, and he gets gang tackled there. He's close to the first down. It's about a little more than a yard short here, and a decision time coming up here for the Raiders, Cole.
I don't mind that decision there to hand the ball off on 2nd down, especially if in the back of your mind, if you're Jake LeBerge, you kind of understand you're going to go for it on 3rd down. Running the ball there early on, I think testing the physicality of that the Valley front 7, is something to pay attention to.
So 3rd down and just a little more than a yard here, and we'll see what the play call is here for Jake LeBerge. They initially line up in the shotgun, spread formation. They got 5 wide receivers out there. I'm excited to see what the call is here. Valley shows blitz. They're going to bring it. They're going to give it to Rondé Lyle. He stood up at the line of scrimmage, and he does not get the first down, and the Valley Huskers have turned the ball over on downs.
Yeah, that was a tough one. The VI Raiders, I don't think were prepared for that one. Valley showed a very heavy pressure front there. Only 5 men up front in protection for the VI Raiders, and that was sniffed out very fast by the Valley Huskers defense.
A tremendous job there by the Valley defensive line, getting immediate penetration, and the VI Raiders offensive line. We're going to have to do a little better than that if we're going to move that pocket on 3rd and 1. Cole, what about the choice to go from the shotgun on 3rd and 1? You like it?
Yeah, I don't know if I love that one, but maybe something that Jake LeBurge had schemed up prior to coming into this game of what they like to do on second and short and third and short situations.
So that will bring out Keyshawn Dorsey, and he's on the roll here, and he's throwing on the run, and it's well overthrown. Intended for number 80. That was Peyton Lake he was looking for downfield on the deep crossing route there, and the ball falls harmlessly to the turf, incomplete.
Dorsey's a guy I'm really interested to see here play today, Noah. I think a guy that even the Huskers program would say that they think there's some more plays out there for him to be had, and has shown his athletic ability here so far through 2 games, being a very effective dual-threat quarterback. But I feel like some of these throws have gotten away from him, and there's, like I said, a lot more out there for him to be had.
I know as a former quarterback, Cole, you love to stand down there in the pregame warm-up and see how the young gunslinger spins it. 2nd down and 10 here for Dorsey. They put him in the shotgun with the sidecar to his left. He's got the snap. It's a blitz by the Raiders, and he's all over him. It's Tanai Wisdom in there immediately, and he brings down Dorsey for the sack, but we do have markers down. We'll wait and check on the flag.
Tanai is going to be a player to keep an eye on this season. A wrecking havoc up front for the VI Raiders defense. If this sack stands, it'll be up to 4 sacks now on the season. Should be into that top 3. Actually, would be just out, I believe, actually. I believe top 4, if I'm not mistaken.
We'll wait to see the call here. It looks like it will go against the Valley Huskers. It will. And that will mean that the Raiders' ever-dangerous return man, Harmon Ahuja, will stand back there around the 25-yard line and await the punt coming from the Valley Huskers punter. And there's the snap. And the ball is away. It's a short kick, helicopter-type style, and Harmon Ahuja's got it at the 40-yard line. He cuts to the middle, cuts upfield. Ahuja with a good-looking return out to the 49-yard line, and that is where Braden Jupe and the Raiders' offense will go to work.
Interested to see how Coach Jake LeBurge attacks this second series here for the VI Raiders' offense. We're trying to establish the run there early on the first drive, and they're able to, just get past midfield, but stalled, unfortunately, on 3rd down in their previous possession.
Braden Jupe, out of Nanoose Bay, British Columbia. It's not so far outside of Parksville, British Columbia, if you're not familiar with the territories. He didn't grow up on the island. Call him a local product. He's an island boy, and he is wearing that Raider black and red well. Valley shows blitz on 1st down. There's early movement, and we'll wait to see the call here.
Could be on Valley if you cross the neutral zone.
That's kind of what I was thinking too, Cole.
No, as we wait for the penalty here, not a bad turnout so far here as the fans are still piling in, getting through the front gates here, but that far section is pretty filled.
We talked about it at the beginning of the broadcast, Cole. Last year, there was a tremendous football game that took place here in Nanaimo between these 2 teams, the Valley Huskers and the VI Raiders. A last-second touchdown pass by Sadler Smith. And the momentum that carried in the offseason, Cole, for the Raiders, being able to bring in guys like new special teams coordinator and general manager Tarek Bryant, you can't understate the value that the last couple wins there for the Raiders against the West Shore Rebels and against the Valley Huskers at home had for the Raiders. And the referee is blowing this dead right here. We're going to wait to see what the call is here. And we are good to go. The referee spots the ball, and they'll put Braden Jupe in the shotgun with Lyle behind him. Ruben Bonsu lined up one-on-one in press coverage at the bottom of your screen. We'll see if they go after him there. Jupe's got the snap. They're going to set up the screen over the middle to Lyle, and he gets absolutely hammered by number 14. That is David Carter for the Valley Huskers, who sniffed out the screen there, Cole.
Not a bad idea for the Vancouver Island Raiders. Just Valley sniffed it out there early on. They've been bringing some pressure early and often, so expecting a little bit of pressure, and Valley kind of read that one.
So a minimal gain on 1st down of about 3. That'll set up a 2nd down and 7 as Braden Jupe awaits the call and gets it from offensive coordinator Jake LeBerge in his 2nd season as the Raiders play caller. And they will put Braden Jupe in the shotgun 3 to the top of your screen, 2 to the bottom. I mentioned Jacob Celso. He's making his first start here today in the receiving corps, and it's a 3-man rush for the Huskers. Jupe gets it away, and it's pulled in by Blaze McCarty, and he's close to a first down. Looks like he's going to be about a yard shy. Nice-looking pass there on the quick slant, Cole.
Terrific catch by Blaze McCarty, able to hold on through the contact and go through the ground. Going to set up an interesting situation for the Raiders to hopefully make up for some of the shortcomings last drive.
So, again, another opportunity here on 3rd down and short. We'll see if offensive coordinator Jake LeBerge wants to go under center or whether he goes out of the shotgun again here. It'll be interesting to see what he calls here in terms of the play. And a 3rd down and exactly 1 yard to go. And they are going to put Jupe, it looks like, under center here. And is this a little bit of trickery by the Raiders? Mosgrip pulls up under center, quarterback sneak.
I don't know.
It's going to be close. I don't know. The Huskers think they stopped them. It will depend on the spot. Oh, boy, this is close for comfort here, Cole. Oh, boy, that spot is as close as you can possibly be. And we are going to get our first measurement of the game, Cole, early in this one. You usually don't get a measurement too much in Canada, but you are going to get one here. And this is a crucial measurement for the VI Raiders. They do not want to turn the ball over on downs for the second time in this game already.
Yeah, you mentioned it. Very crucial measurement here coming up. Let's see as the chains are walked out onto the field. My gut tells me I think they're short, Noah.
And they extend those chains. Let's see. Oh, boy, you might have to put a paper clip in there to find this one out. It is short, and the Valley Huskers have taken over on downs for the second time today.
Yeah, unacceptable way to start the game. 2 times in short yardage situations, the Raiders are unable to do it. Even that time, scheming something up where they're trying to look at catching the defense off guard. They were unable to get a push up front, and Mosgrip comes up short on 3rd and inches.
It's not from a lack of creativity from offensive coordinator Jake LeBerge. He's tried the shotgun. He's tried the quarterback sneak. He's tried what some would consider a trick play there, putting the H-back, the tight end, receiver Parker Mosgrip under center. He can't sneak for the first down. So the Raiders' short yardage troubles have started early in this game. And here is Dorsey. He's handing off on first down, and there's immediate penetration in the backfield and taken down. It's Tanai Wisdom in the Valley Huskers backfield to make the stop. It's a loss of 4.
Yeah, Tanai was one of the players I wanted to watch here today. Working with my platform, the Canadian Football Fanatics, he was actually our player to watch for the Vancouver Island Raiders today. Defense, as I mentioned, 4 sacks now on the season. Tackles for loss affects the game in multiple different ways up front for the VI Raiders defense.
So the VI Raiders defensive line doing their part here. And the Hoggies up front on the VI Raiders offensive line are going to have to start doing theirs. We need those short yardage situations. I shouldn't say we. I'm trying to be neutral. I got a Raiders hat on as we speak, but it's a green Raiders hat, so call me neutral. I'm mixing it up here with the Valley Huskers green. Here's the pass over the middle, and a tremendous catch is made all the way down inside the 40-yard line. That's number 9. That's Josh Caverly. And you spoke to the head coach of the Valley Huskers before this game, Cole. He said Caverly's a man to watch.
Yeah, definitely a man to watch. I feel like this Huskers offense is kind of, they know who they have in Peyton Lake as their kind of solidified number 1 wide receiver. Looking for somebody to step up in the receiving corps to kind of solidify themselves as that number 2 option here, and Caverly stepped up here early on in the season.
Well, if that one's any indication, his contested catch rating in Madden has got to be over 90. That was a terrific catch with tight coverage in the Raiders secondary, but Caverly able to pull it down. The penalty, I would assume, is going to be against the Raiders for a pass interference call here. And by the look of the Raiders and the dejection on the defensive line, that is what it will be. And the referee signals ahead, and they will move the chains up. And the Valley Huskers are on the move here, Cole.
They are on the Raiders side of the field for the first time here today. I'm curious on how Coach Todd Hunter is going to attack that Raiders defense.
So Dorsey will work from the shotgun here on first down. 3 to the bottom of your screen. VI shows blitz. They're going to bring it. And a good penetration again. That was number 4, Max Shipham, immediately in the backfield. And we've got multiple penalty markers down here, Cole.
I think a little bit of extracurriculars happening there. Curious to see the call on the field, know if you're able to catch it from the referee here.
I'm pretty good with those signals, Cole. I was thinking about being a referee back in the day, but eventually decided to go into the teaching faculty, the teaching career. And really, Cole, it was my dream to be a sports broadcaster long before I became a teacher. I guess some would say I made the safe call, but hey, if you can call VI Raiders games on the side while you teach, it's a heck of a lifestyle to live. So we await the call from the referee here, and they are talking this one out. Maybe a disagreement here, maybe a referee giving a different input here, maybe two different sides of the story here. We'll wait to see here, Cole. But early on, these teams in a little bit of a stalemate as we wait to see who draws first blood in this one.
Yeah, I think both defenses have thrown the first punches for both sides here early on, so curious to see how the offenses get in rhythm as the game progresses.
So the penalty is roughing the passer on the VI Raiders. And, Cole, you're noticing something here.
I believe it's number 69 getting escorted off the field. I wonder if punches were being thrown and if he's going to be leaving this ball game.
Oh, boy. That may be an early exit for number 69 on the Raiders. He's not on our roster today. That is, by the looks of it, it's Quintarius, Cole. And he has, in fact, been ejected from the football game. Really, Cole, you would know this better than I would, but there's only a few ways you get ejected from a football game, and I would assume one is throwing punches.
Yeah, absolutely. He's very emotional on that VI Raiders sideline right now. Home opener, juices are flowing, and that's not a way you want to kind of handle them and put them in the right direction moving forward. So going to be a big missing piece for the Raiders. I know they were quite excited with the addition of, I believe, as you mentioned, we don't have his name on our roster sheet. We're going with Quintarius, I believe. Going to be a missing piece for the middle of that Raiders defense.
Quintarius Lusk, a big get in the offseason for the Raiders, and that will be a huge missing piece in the middle of that defensive line, and that will bring in Gavin Taylor into the defensive line now. And Quintarius, he is taking off his jersey. His day is over for the VI Raiders. So a disappointing home debut for Quintarius Lusk here as he has been kicked out of the game, and he gets a talking to here from special teams coordinator and also defensive line coach Tarek Bryant. There's 7:56 remaining in the first quarter. And a very interesting start to this game, Cole, with the two short yardage stops by the Valley Huskers. Now we have a player ejected. He has now thrown his jersey at a truck in the back of the outside of the end zone there. He looks very frustrated. And we go back into action here, and here is Dorsey handing off on first down. And that is Jawad Harb with the carry up the middle for a minimal gain.
I believe he was stopped by Finstad in the middle of that Raiders defense. Have a little bit of movement in the Raiders defense here today as we're going to see Caleb Charlton come out of the starting lineup. They're going to move Sterling Henry into that linebacking core as well as Max Shipham starting not at his usual will linebacker, but they're going to slide him over to the Sam today.
So some changes in the Raiders defense there, and a second down here for Keyshawn Dorsey, and he'll send five out in the pattern. The running back is the swing to the right. He fires over the middle, and it's knocked down nicely there by Kaya Saunders, the fifth-year player for the Raiders, Cole, making an impact early on here.
And that's somebody that's got to be juiced off that play, as you can see the excitement on his in his celebration there. A guy, as you mentioned, a fifth-year, very selfless player coming into the season, actually got taken out of the starting lineup, placed into it today due to the adjustments into the Raiders defense. He makes a play early on that's got to feel good.
The Huskers going for the sticks there on the hook pattern, and Kaya Saunders jumping that one really nicely. That is textbook. I know head coach Sean Arabsky, a former defensive back himself, he's going to love the technique there by Kaya Saunders. They are going to try a field goal here, and this is going to be about a 37-yarder. And, I mean, you talk about CJFL kickers, Cole. This is a long one. It'll be Carson Turner and Vergata to put it down. And the kick is up, and the kick splits the uprights, and it is good. So Turner from 37, 38 yards out. A heck of a kick there, and the Valley Huskers have taken a 3-0 lead, Cole.
I'd probably go 5 or 10 extra yards on that one. We got some range here with this field goal kicker today.
It could be a fun one. We'll get into the Raiders kicker down the road. He has my favorite name in the CJFL. I'm not going to spoil it for you now. You're going to have to wait in suspense, viewers. But I love the kicker for the VI Raiders, and the number kind of coincides with the name that he has. We'll get into the explanation of that later. For now, the Raiders are down 3-0, and they have got to respond here on offense. How does the Raiders offense get going here, Cole?
Yeah, I'm curious. It's been some ups and downs through 2 drives. They've had some positives, but they've also had the negatives, not being able to convert in those short yardage situations. I'm kind of curious to see how Coach LeBurge comes out here on this third possession. I would imagine he's a little bit frustrated because, as I mentioned, they're getting some stuff going through the air on the ground, but just unable to execute in some important opportunities.
So here will be the kickoff, and it will be Carson Turner, the designated place kicker. It's always a cool thing when you see that in the CGFL, Cole, a designated place kicker, and the return will come, and it's going to the right here, and there's immediate penetration, but he's able to get past it down the near sideline and taken down right there, and good downfield coverage by the Valley Huskers there. That was Cameron Skoberg on the return there for the Raiders, Cole.
The Valley Huskers got to feel like they've done a pretty good job here through 2 drives. They've gotten 2 huge stops in short yardage situations. They haven't given them many points. I'm curious to see how they kind of build off their momentum they've started early, and if the Raiders are able to generate a bit of their own.
So the Raiders scrimmaging from their own 22-yard line and looking to get something going here, and they're going to put Braden Jupe in the shotgun. Parker Mosgrip is the inside receiver to the field here. And here's the snap, and it is a 3-man rush. And they're going to give it to Rondé Lyle, trying to establish that run. But a good interior penetration there by the Valley Huskers. They take him down for a minimal gain. There are flags down again. We wait to see what those are.
It's a big call here early on. No, if the Raiders get backed up anymore, it's an unfortunate situation that you start to, having to think about safety situations here if they get any closer to their goal line.
It definitely is, Cole. Not the way the Raiders wanted to start this third drive of the game. They are backing up here. As you see, the referee, number 46, placing the ball all the way back at the Raiders' 11-yard line. And in Canada, Cole, with the field position being so crucial, this is not where you want to start a drive.
Got to be careful here for the Raiders offense for sure. You don't want to cause any turnovers this deep into your own territory.
What do you like to do here, Cole? Do you want to take a shot from your own end zone, or do you play it safe and run the football, maybe a screen?
If you're taking a shot, you got to make sure it's your guy or out of bounds for sure.
They are going to take a shot, and Jupe going deep down the middle, and it's Mosgrip who's got it again. Parker Mosgrip, he has been the leading receiver this football game so far for the VI Raiders. Deep crossinger out there. He's got the catch, and another one for Mosgrip, Cole.
Same bender over route from Mosgrip once again. Braden Jupe comfortable throwing that ball. They must have worked on it in practice a number of times. But Mosgrip, no fear going up over the middle, as well as the big body. I would imagine the imposing DBs sizing him up, kind of maybe second guess before they want to lower the lumber on a big guy like Mosgrip.
You might make a business decision on big number 80 for the Raiders, standing 6'4", and I'm just guessing probably over 220 pounds. Here's Jupe in the shotgun. They'll go jet sweep to Ruben Bonsu. He cuts to the left, and he is gang tackled by 3 Valley Huskers down there. We got more penalty flags down. I'll wait to see what the call is on this one. But Cole, talk about the importance of getting a guy like Ruben Bonsu going. He's been a little slow to start this season here.
Yeah, he has been a little bit slow. He obviously started the season with 2 touchdowns up in Kamloops. Wasn't too active other than the 2 touchdowns, and then obviously pretty quiet in week number 2 versus the Okanagan Sun. A guy that's hugely important to the success of the Raiders offense and getting the ball in his hands, like you saw there, whether it's passing the ball down the field or getting the ball into his hands coming out of the backfield, is a huge advantage for the Raiders offense they're looking to do.
Any way you can find a way to get the ball into Ruben Bonsu's hands is a good idea for the VI Raiders. The penalty is on the Valley Huskers. It'll put the ball out at the 42, and very quickly this Raiders drive has gotten out of the shadow of their own end zone. They are out at the 42-yard line, and they will put Braden Jupe in the shotgun here. You've got Jacob Celso on the line, Ruben Bonsu off the line with that running start. We'll see if they take a shot to him. They're going to go to Celso. He's got the catch. Jacob Celso with a first down for the Raiders. And Jacob Celso, he is a really good looking. He's a little on the shorter side in stature, Cole, but height does not measure hard, as I'm sure you know.
Forgive me, I've watched the past 2 games, but I believe that might be his first career CJFL catch, so shout out to Jacob Celso. Was able to watch him last year in the BCPFA Provincial Championships down in Victoria for his North Surrey Bears. A very talented young player. I would imagine the Raiders are very excited for the future of Celso in a Raiders jersey.
Jacob Celso and backup quarterback Zach Golab, both coming over from from the mainland, is Golab from Terry Fox High School. They are both really close friends. It's been fun to kind of watch their engagement here. Here's an empty backfield for the Raiders. They send Lyle out in the flat, and they're going to throw it to Lyle. And Lyle's got the catch, and he is tackled there by a couple Valley Huskers after a minimal gain of about 4. But do you like using the running back out of the backfield, Cole? That's something the Raiders didn't do a ton last year.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of a flood concept there with a deep out, the shallow out coming underneath. Very composed throw there by Braden Jupe as he had the deep out that maybe he could have forced downfield, but the coverage was pretty tight. Nothing deep down the field, and he checks it down to his running back, picks up a few yards to put them in a second and what looks to be 8 or 7 yards.
So they get a minimal gain there on first down, but it is 2nd and 7 for the Raiders, and they're going to put Rondé Lyle in the pistol behind Jupe. Celso is the slot receiver at the top of your screen, and Jupe gets the snap, 3-step drop, fires down the middle. It's overthrown, intended for Mossgrip. And there are no markers down. So decision time for the Raiders. Do you punt this one or do you go for it? They are going to bring on the punt team here. And that's going to bring out the man that I have been excited to talk about all day long, Cole. It's number 95 here. No mistake for Lightning McQueen. That is Cole McQueen. I call him the man with the $1 million name, with an opportunity here a little bit in a Huskers territory to maybe pin the Huskers deep. Is he going to be looking for that coffin corner here? McQueen steps into it, and it's a high kick, and it takes a Raiders bounce, and good downfield coverage by the Raiders. They're all over him, and they swarm him inside the 15-yard line, but there are markers down.
Been a lot of laundry on the field here early on.
I can hear John Gruden back in his Fired Football Coaches Association headquarters, Cole, saying, "Ref, keep that flag in your back pocket, man." And you know what, Cole? I tend to agree with him. The fans aren't here to see the referees throw the laundry on the field. The fans are here to see good football. But nonetheless, the referees have a job to do too. They get paid as well. And we've had quite a few flags early in this game.
Yeah, I always think of the Coach Carter quote, "Let the boys play. Let the boys play, Coach."
We wait to see what the call is here, and this is a big one. It could determine whether the Huskers are starting way back in their own territory or whether they're going to have decent field position. It is against the Valley Huskers, and they are going to start inside their own 10-yard line. So, Cole, from a defensive perspective, do you expect head coach of the Raiders, the play caller, Sean Arabsky, to bring pressure and try to get the safety, or do you expect him to drop everybody into coverage?
Knowing Coach Arabsky like I do, I would expect a little bit of pressure here, honestly. I know that's something that they like to do. That's part of their identity as a defense, and will be something to keep an eye on. I know they trust their back seven a lot and the guys in their secondary. It's
a 5-man rush, and they're going to give it up the middle, and a good-looking run here for Jawad Harb. He's got what's close to a first down. It'll depend on the spot. They are going to give him the first down, and they'll move those chains. A good-looking run on first down there for Harb.
Yeah, Harb's a fantastic player. As I mentioned, one of the guys I was really excited to watch here in person today. I think a lot of people around the BCFC like to talk about Jaron Hardesty and Bruce Jones and Reggie Ellie and a few of the other guys. Rightfully so, those are talented backs. But, I think for my money, Jawad Harb's up there for, the best back in the BCFC.
And they're going to give it to that man again. Here's Harb off the left side, and he is tackled there, forced out of bounds by Felice Toscano, number 1 for the VI Raiders. Cole, I know that Felice Toscano, coming off a really good season last year for the Raiders, that's another guy you want to keep an eye on.
Absolutely. Second-team All-Canadian from 2024. A guy that I think that Raiders program felt like he got a little bit snubbed, and I know it's funny to think saying, snubbed as a second-team All-Canadian. Highly regarded, highly talented player, but I think they probably felt in that program that he was a first-team All-Canadian, a guy that's been locking down the boundary for the past few seasons for the VI Raiders.
So that'll bring up a 2nd down and 7. And Dorsey's got the snap. There's immediate pressure. He steps up in the pocket, and he is brought to the ground. A huge hit. The combination of Colton Finstad from the linebacker spot and, of course, Tanai Wisdom in on that one again, Cole.
It was a focal point throughout the week. I know talking with Coach Arabsky pregame of making sure they contain Keyshawn Dorsey, who's been a very effective runner, a dual threat quarterback here through 2 games. Actually 4th in the BCFC in rushing yards through 2 games, of containing him, making sure they're keeping him in the pocket and not letting him get outside.
So the punt team on again for the Valley Huskers, and that'll bring out Carson Turner once again to boot this ball away. The Raiders could get great field position here. Harmon Ahuja is back deep to return, and he is always a dangerous returner. And the referee again stopping play. There's a marker down, and this is a big call, Cole. If it's against the Raiders, it's going to give the Valley Huskers a first down here. We're going to wait to see what the call is here. They're talking a Valley, which is never a good indication.
Could it be due to some substituting, maybe too many men in the huddle here? We're going to be curious to see what happens here.
And there is no flag. So the referees maybe hearing my John Gruden impression and choosing to put the flag in the back pocket here. So a 3rd down and 5, and Turner is in to punt it again for the Valley Huskers. Again, a little bit of a stalemate right now. Both play callers trying to figure each other out. And Turner will boot it deep. And the aforementioned Harmon Ahuja back there to return. And the kick is a good one. It's a high kick, driving Ahuja way back to his own 35-yard line. Nice over-the-shoulder catch by Ahuja, but he's brought down to the 42-yard line by a couple Valley Huskers. And that is where the VI Raiders drive will start. And Cole, how can the Raiders get this offense moving here? They've had a few drives here with a little bit of movement. They've got some initial first downs, but short yardage being a problem for the Raiders today. Yeah,
it comes down to just finishing right now. They've been, as you mentioned, been able to pick up some first downs, move the football through the air on the ground, but at points when they get, past midfield, get into maybe potentially thinking about some points on the board, they stall drives. And like I said, I think they just need to finish drives here, and they've had some good here, so it's unfortunate that the drives have finished the way they have.
The yardage probably not the problem for the Raiders right now in the first quarter, but on the other hand, the turnovers, especially on downs, is something to keep an eye on here. So a minute 31 to go here in the first quarter, and you get a little stoppage here. Cole, we got Living on a Prayer playing here in the background. Is that one of your favorite rock songs of all time?
That's a classic. If anyone's out there, the old Guitar Hero Rock Band days, that's a favorite.
Cole, I'd be lying if I said I haven't sung that one a few times at the karaoke bar here in Nanaimo. So 1st down and 10, they're going to put Braden Jupe in the shotgun, and Valley shows immediate blitz. They back out of it, and the Raiders hand the ball to Rondé Lyle. Oh, no, they faked it, and they throw it to Moscrib. Nice call there by offensive coordinator Jake LeBerge, and the Raiders pick up a first down on the slice motion.
Terrific play call there by Coach Jake LeBerge. I know a play call he used to run as a former VI Raiders quarterback.
Quick hands, baby, quick hands.
The slice motion there with the play fake to the running back totally bit the defense as linebacker, I believe it was number 30 of the Valley Huskers, totally bit that. Monster coming out of the backside of the formation open and was able to turn upfield for a first down.
So the Raiders moving here. The ball is at about the 54-yard line of the Valley Huskers, just across the midfield stripe, and they'll put Jupe in the shotgun, and Rondé Lyle is behind him. They haven't been able to get much movement on the offensive line, but they are going to take a shot here. They're going for Blaze McCarty way downfield. The ball's underthrown, and it falls harmlessly to the turf. Underthrown footballs, Cole, a reoccurring theme for Braden Jupe going back to week 1 against the Kamloops Broncos.
Yeah, I think that comes to just, as a play caller, you have the saying of KYP, know your personnel, right? I feel like that's almost a KYF, know your field, right? In the Canadian Football League, how far it is to that field side. That's a ball that when you look to let it go, you need to let it even go maybe a second or two earlier just to get it out that far.
It is a very wide field. I believe it is 62 yards wide here in Canada. So throwing a 5-yard out is more like throwing a 30-yard pass. Braden Jupe 2nd down and 10 here, and Valley will only bring 3. He's got all day in the pocket. He steps up, he throws over the middle, and he finds the open man. And that is the aforementioned Blaze McCarty with a gain of about 6. But again, 3rd down coming up here for the Raiders, and decision time for head coach Sean Arabsky. Going to be 3rd and about 4. The initial indication is that Sean Arabsky is going to leave the offense on the field. Nope, they are going to bring the punt team out and play the field position game here. As we near the end of the first quarter here, a 3-0 Valley Huskers lead over the VI Raiders. This should be the final play of the first quarter. And Cole McQueen, the man with $1 million name, is back there to boot it away. A late substitution by the Raiders. They avoid the too many men call. And McQueen calls for the ball, and he's got it. And pressure by the Huskers, but it's picked up well by the Raiders. And the kick drives him back to the 20-yard line. And cutting upfield, look out here. He's got something all the way to the 35-yard line. The return by the Valley Huskers. And what was initially a good kick by McQueen Cole, downfield coverage, so important in Canada.
Yeah, I believe that was number 20, Grady Andre, for the Valley Huskers. Last week's Special Teams Player of the Week in the BCFC. A fantastic little, fantastic talent for the Valley Huskers returning the football.
And looks like there's another penalty on the Raiders, Cole. And this, sorry, I apologize, folks. This is just switching sides. I guess there's been so many penalties in this first quarter, Cole, that I'm jumping the gun here. I am a human being as well, but they will move the ball all the way across the field here. And, oh boy, if you're offensive coordinator Jake LeBerge, how are you feeling right now, Cole?
I think a little bit frustrated, rightfully so, right? Where, as we've said, don't want to beat a dead horse too much here. They've moved the football. They've just been unable to finish drives here and been able to execute when it comes crucial times, right? Second down, third and short situations. So, good thing for the Raiders. Their defense has bailed them out here early on.
No surprise, that defense was outstanding last year, led by the defensive coordinator and head coach Sean Arabsky. They'll put Dorsey in the shotgun here from the 35-yard line. They fake the jet sweep. There's immediate pressure by Sterling Henry, but he's able to get it away, and the pass is complete. And that is number 3, Dag Mora with the catch, and he's close to a first down, but we have more laundry on the field, Cole.
Have a drink if you heard that one before. No, when we have a second here, how are you feeling, buddy? I know we talked a little bit pregame, a little bit of the butterflies and the little pregame nerves. How are we feeling 1 quarter down of our broadcast debut here in 2025?
You know what, Cole? Like I mentioned before, this was a dream of mine when I was a kid. I remember being in grade 3 and people would ask me, what do you want to do? Do you want to be a lawyer? Do you want to be a businessman? Do you want to be a professional football player? Cole, I took one look at my dad, and he stands 5'9" and is slightly on the overweight side, and I knew pretty quickly that being a professional athlete was not going to be my future. So I knew from a very early age coaching could be an avenue, but really my dream was to be a sports broadcaster. So, folks, it is an absolute pleasure to be in the broadcast booth sharing this game with you today, and we got more laundry on the field and another penalty here, and we will wait to check on the call. I must say, in my dad's defense, Cole, he has gotten in tremendous shape over the last couple of years here. He's really been doing a good job of getting that exercise in, not eating too much carbs, all the funny things that the nutritional community would say. My dad is in the best shape of his life. So, Ken, if you're watching this, shout out to you, my friend. You were the best dad I could have ever asked for. Anyhow, we will get back to the action here. I don't want to bore you with my family trauma here, folks. But first down and 15 for the Valley Huskers. Back at the 52-yard line, and the motion man, and they're going to drop Dorsey back to throw. There's pressure by the Raiders. He's got a man down the sideline, but the ball travels out of bounds. And, oh, my goodness, we have another penalty flag on this one. Now, it's back behind the line of scrimmage. This is one of two things I'm thinking. It's either going to be roughing the passer or a holding call. And we wait to get the look from the official. It is a holding call on the Valley Huskers, and that will back the ball up. The referee is now spotting it initially where it originally was, Cole.
Raiders must have declined it, perhaps?
Cole, the suspense is killing me. When we get our first touchdown of this game, after all the penalties and all the commotion here, man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle this. I might just explode when we get our first touchdown of this game. But the referees try and sort this thing out. There's laundry on the field. The referee is now blowing it in. And again, Cole, it's right back where the original line of scrimmage was. So I'm not sure what the penalty was there, but a first down for a second down and 15 here for the Valley Huskers, and they will put Keyshawn Dorsey in the gun. The sidecar behind him is Jawad Harb. It's a blitz by the Raiders. They're going to roll Dorsey to the right, and boy, he's got some good-looking wheels on him as he gets outside the pocket and throws on the run, and the ball is knocked down really nicely there by the newcomer, Israel Waitman, in the secondary. He is a good-looking player, the American free safety, Cole.
Fantastic player. 4 interceptions through 2 games. A ton of toughness he brings to the field, not only on the field but off the field as well. Izzy Waitman's going to be a player to watch throughout the game and the rest of the season.
He was banged up in the game against Okanagan last week. There was some question whether he would give it a go, but he is being a tough guy and giving this thing a go here for the VI Raiders. And good to see Israel Waitman getting involved in the game. The sprint out there with Dorsey. Waitman, good job knocking the pass down. And here comes the punt. Oh, my goodness. It is an absolute shank. And it's straight up in the air. Raiders got to be careful not to touch this thing. Ahuja picks it up. And Harmon Ahuja cuts up the middle and is tackled by about 3 Valley Huskers there. And we got more penalties on the play, Cole.
See what happens with the penalties here on the field, but hopefully this comes to an end here soon. I feel like it's been every play.
Well, early in the season, Cole, teams trying to figure themselves out and just kind of stay out of the penalty box, if you will. And if you like hockey terms, we are in Canada, so I'd be remiss if I didn't give a hockey analogy and a little hockey shout out there. But if this was a hockey game, you might have 12 guys in the penalty box right now. But we wait to see the referee's call here, and there is no flag. So, Cole, that is now the second time today that the referee has thrown the flag and then picked it back up. So, not making it easy on us in our debut as broadcasters, but it will be a first down for the VI Raiders at the 40-yard line. We have 13 minutes and counting here in the first quarter. And Braden Jupe is in the shotgun. It seems like it's been a while since we've seen him. That could be due to all the laundry on the field. First down, they're going to give it to Lyle up the middle. And again, nowhere to run for Londe Lyle. He is tackled by 2 Valley Huskers there. And a second down and long coming up for the Raiders. Cole, you'd love to establish that ground game on first down, but that interior front for the Valley Huskers, it's a good-looking one, isn't it?
It is. I'd be curious to know if there is any checks or if that is any sort of RPO action there for the VI Raiders, as the Valley Huskers showed pre-snap a very aggressive front, appeared to be in man coverage the whole time, and unfortunate for Braden Jupe and the Raiders, as I mentioned, probably seeing that front, maybe able to check out of it and get into a better play, or maybe, as I mentioned, some sort of RPO action. They run into that teeth of that defense and they're met after a 1-yard gain.
James Moore, the defensive coordinator, has got to be liking the effort he's seen from his team so far. Second down and 9, and they'll fake the give. They're going to boot Jupe out to his right. He's going to throw deep down the right side. Got a man open, and it is caught by Jake Barker, and he's out of bounds, and he's got a first down for the VI Raiders. How about the job there by offensive coordinator Jake LeBears, moving the pocket, Cole, getting Braden Jupe out there comfortable on the run.
Terrific job there. The little York-to-York connection with Jake Barker as well, coming back from the University of York. Open on a corner pattern down the field. Terrific opportunity here for the Raiders getting into Husker territory to hopefully get some points on the board here.
That is probably the most impressive pass I've seen by Braden Jupe here today. That was a great toss down the right sideline there. And like you mentioned, Cole, the 2 York men coming over to the island here in Nanaimo. Braden Jupe's got a first down for the Raiders inside the Huskers' 40-yard line of the 39. They put Rondé Lyle in the backfield. Valley shows blitz. They're going to bring it. Jupe's got time over the middle, and the pass is knocked down. Intended for Jake Barker. Again, they're going back to Barker there, but Valley able to sniff it out there, Cole.
Yeah, number 30, Andy, with the pass breakup there. Terrific play, and as I mentioned, we were talking with Coach Reese down the field, a player to watch and a player that they're very high on in that program.
So that will bring up an important second down and long here for the Raiders. And we'll see what the play call is here. But Braden Jupe, maybe he's getting in a little bit of a rhythm here. He's going to a man he's comfortable with. They were roommates at York University, And there does seem to be a level of familiarity there for Jake Barker and Braden Jupe. 2nd down and 10. Ruben Bonsu is in motion, and he's coming down the line. Hit that shallow cross, Braden. Oh, no, he's going down the middle for Moskrip, and Moskrip's got it again. Parker Moskrip putting on an absolute show early in this one. That's his 3rd catch of the ball game. Every one of them has been enough to move the chains, Cole.
Fantastic catch by Moskrip. I believe he's just going to be short of the 1st down, putting his body on the line 3 times on a similar type of deep over route. This time maybe coming into the 2nd and 3rd side of it, and he's able to get open and catch the ball, hold on to it as well, taking a hit.
Cole, I'm praying we got the 1st down here, but it is going to be short. And, oh boy, Cole, there's no way we can go for 3, right? Eventually, the dice has got to roll in your favor.
Yeah, and sorry, Noah, just to kind of transition here, pretty significant player down on the field. That's number 5, Raiden Maston, down on the field for the Valley Huskers. A huge focal point for the Huskers defense as they moved him actually into that Sam linebacker position. Has been quite effective in his new position, I should say. And as I mentioned, a huge missing piece if he's not able to come back in this one.
Well, that would make 2 teams now that are missing a big piece in the defensive unit side of the football. As Quintarius Lusk left the game earlier, he was ejected from the football game. Now you see number 5, Raiden Maston, who will be able to jog off on his own 2 feet, which we're happy to see, Cole. And that will bring up a very interesting 3rd down and 1 here. You got to think the Raiders have got to be able to get this one. You go 0 for 3 in 3rd and 1 situations in Canada, Cole. They got to give you a yard, man. You should be able to pick this up. They're going to put Jupe under center. They got Moskrip behind him, Lyle in there as well. It looks like a tush-push type look. And the ball is snapped, and oh my goodness, Cole, there are penalty flags down. Jupe didn't look like he was ready for the snap, and thankfully for the Raiders, it looks like it's going to be an offside on the Valley Huskers, which should give the Raiders a 1st down, but some miscommunication there on the snap.
If this is actually on the Valley Huskers, it's a terrific job by the center, Jake Giokis, snapping the ball with the Valley Huskers player in the neutral zone, understanding the football IQ right there.
That's a great point there, Cole. I called it miscommunication. That's a heads-up football play there by the center of the VI Raiders, Jake Giokis, seeing that they were in the neutral zone. Just go ahead and snap it. Get the 1st down. Makes too much sense. The ball is up at the 25-yard line, and the Raiders near the red zone for the first time today, and they are due. Braden Jupe will stand under center here. They're going to put him. They got 2 backs in the backfield. Moskrip is the first man in the backfield playing that fullback look, and he motions down the line on the left, and they fake the give to Lyle. They boot Jupe out to the right. He's in trouble. Jupe with a nice-looking stiff arm. Sets up, going deep to the middle of the end zone, and it is tipped up in the air. Is it caught? It is off the deflection and incomplete. That was Celso in the back of the end zone who had an opportunity to get it off the tip, but it falls harmlessly to the turf. We do have markers down, and that is not quite a surprise if you watch the first half here, Cole.
Fantastic job by Braden Jupe there, extending the play, avoiding a defender in his face. Sees Blaze McCarty running deep down the field, tries to get in the football and ends up getting tipped up in the air, and Celso might have had the best opportunity to come down with that football. Unfortunate there for Braden Jupe, his 2 backside routes that he was probably looking to throw the football to kind of got tangled up and weren't there for him.
We wait to see what the call is here. Jupe is trying to get in on the conversation. That was a terrific job there by Jupe of extending the play, and a really good-looking stiff arm. That had Cam Newton written all over it. Cam Newton standing 6'6", Braden Jupe standing 6'6". He tells me quite a bit that he's 6'7". I've stood next to him, Cole. 6'6", and maybe a little bit of change there. But, hey, he wouldn't be the first guy to lie on his dating app profile. But 1st down here, and we'll wait to see the call.
I believe both penalties are on the Huskers as the...
You think one's in the area of pass interference, eh? And it looks like it's illegal contact on the Huskers, and that will push the ball about 5 yards up. So the Raiders with a 1st down and 5 here, Cole. Is this shot play territory?
I'd love to see it. Let's see what they get here pre-snap. If they're in a favorable look. I believe it's Raiden Maston actually being asked to leave the field. Might not have been off the field for his 3 plays.
That is probably exactly what that is, Cole. Good eye. So the Valley Huskers will have to make a substitution here, as Madsen was not out for his 3 plays. Here comes the new man in there for the Huskers. They give him time to get in there. And the Raiders in the red zone for the first time today. 1st down and 5. I've watched a lot of CFL football over my years, Cole. This is corner out territory right here. We'll see. First down, and they're going to fake the give to Lyle. Jupe's looking. There's nothing open. He scampers to his right. He dumps it off. He's got Parker Mosgrip. Mosgrip inside the 10 and all the way down to the 6-yard line. Nice job by Jupe there extending the play, Cole.
Yeah, you can see he's looking up to offensive coordinator Jake LeBurge, kind of shrugging his shoulders a little bit. A bit of a broken play there. They actually read the wide receiver screen. They looked to get Ruben Bonzu the ball out there. Parker Mosgrove, after he finished his block, turned around, he was open. Jupe was able to find him and convert into what looks to be just outside of the 5-yard line of the Valley Huskers.
1st and goal to go for the Raiders as they knock on the Valley Huskers' doorstep, looking for their first touchdown at home this season so far. They put Mosgrip is tight on the line of scrimmage. It's a 2-by-2 receiver formation. Barker is at the bottom of the screen, and they're going to fake the give to Lyle. Jupe going off the left side. He could go. Takes a hit, but plows into the end zone. Touchdown! Raiders! And the Raiders take a 6-3 lead with the extra point to come. How about the read option decision there by Braden Jupe, Cole?
I love that play call by offensive coordinator Jake LeBurge. You could tell he wanted to spread the defense out with his wide receivers motioning out wide. Able to truly make it a one-read play for Braden Jupe. Read that end, he was able to take it and crash the end and get into the end zone.
No fear there from Braden Jupe, crashing into the defender and plowing his way into the end zone for the touchdown. Cole, when the defensive players on a football team see their quarterback put their helmet down and go first right into the defender like that and plow in for the touchdown, does that fire up the whole kind of team there?
Absolutely. I'm sure it's a little bit of mixed emotions on the Raiders bench and maybe for Raiders fans, as I'm sure a lot of the boys and the players are very fired up to see their quarterback do that. But if you're maybe head coach Sean Arabsky or maybe offensive coordinator Jake LeBurge, you're holding your breath just for a tad second for let's see him get up before we celebrate too much.
With the way the short yardage situation's been going today, Cole, it's probably a good thing it wasn't 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line. But Jupe plows in, and the Raiders have a 7-3 lead here in Nanaimo. So 9:05 left to go in the first half here, and the Raiders with a good response. They faced some adversity early, a couple short yardage situations they were unable to capitalize on, but a really good response there for the Raiders. And you know what, Cole? Some adversity can be a good thing for a football team.
Absolutely. I think I liked how the Raiders have responded here early, not getting out of character here early on, understanding that it's a 60-minute ball game, right? That things are going to happen eventually, and hopefully they're able to get some momentum rolling and the snowball being pushed in the right direction.
So the man with the $1 million name, Cole McQueen, is in once again here to boot this one deep. And we'll get a nice look here at what kind of distance McQueen has on the kickoff. In the CJFL, the ball is spotted at the 45-yard line. There's not a lot of touchbacks in Canada, which I know people are going to be happy about, all the NFL fans that watch a lot of touchbacks in the No Fun League. I'm probably going to get fined for saying that. But anyhow, here's the kickoff. It's taken all the way back at the 15-yard line, and he's coming up the middle. And number 20 is all the way to the 37-yard line. And that was Grady Andrea on the return there, Cole.
I'm interested to see how the Huskers offenses come out. Almost similar to the Raiders a little bit. They've shown some flashes as well here today and just been unable to finish here and put together some scoring drives.
So Keyshawn Dorsey, while he's looked composed, he hasn't turned the football over. He only has 3 points on the board here for the Valley Huskers. It's been a low-scoring first half. We'll see if their offensive coordinator, Kai Todd Hunter, wants to open it up here a little bit and maybe take a shot down the field. We are midway through the second quarter here in Nanaimo. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon in Nanaimo. There is a nice light breeze, but it is a hot one. If you're an American football player, you probably feel like you're at home here in Nanaimo right now. And the give is up the middle, and Jawad Harb is stacked up by a couple VI Raiders there. Great job by the interior, the defensive line there, Cole, especially with the missing piece, Quintarius Lux, not in there right now.
Yeah, terrific opportunity. You know that the Huskers are looking to establish Jawad Harb early on first down, and they were ready and up to the task there.
So a gain of 2 on first down, and that will make it 2nd down and 8 for the Huskers as they break the huddle there. And Keyshawn Dorsey, we talked to the head coach of the Huskers before the game. He faced a good push in training camp from the Winnipeg product, Rogan Vergata. We'll see how long that leash is for Dorsey as he escapes the pocket here, and he's going to use his best gift, and that's those legs. And he goes for a scramble down the right sideline, and he's got the first down. Chased from behind by Sterling Henry, one of the fastest players on the VI Raiders, Cole. Henry could not catch up to the speedster, Keyshawn Dorsey.
Yeah, I believe he was a track athlete back in his high school days. As you mentioned, probably one of the fastest players on this Raiders roster. But Dorsey, once again, kind of same old, using his legs effectively and being able to pick up the first down.
That is the added element that Dorsey gives you. Those legs are a tremendous weapon. So a first down at the 52-yard line here. And Dorsey, the motion man, is number 9, and he will get the snap, and it's a 5-man rush by the Raiders. They got the spy on him, but Dorsey's able to get out of there, floats it downfield, got a man open, and inside the 30-yard line, that is number 8, Arman Sharma with the catch, and he sets the Valley Huskers up with a first down deep in VI Raiders territory, Cole.
Very composed read and very composed delivery there by Keyshawn Dorsey. Like that.
So after the initial defensive struggle here in this one, it seems that both offenses are finally settling in and heating up here a little bit with Dorsey doing what he does best, using those gifted legs and extending the play. He found the man open downfield. It's a first down at the 28-yard line as they near the red zone. They're going to put Dorsey up on her center, and if I'm an offensive coordinator, Cole, this is bootleg time for me. And that is exactly what they're going to do. They're going to fake the handoff. It's a straight drop, but Dorsey's going to roll the pocket to the left, and he's going to take off, and Dorsey continues to make the Raiders pay with his legs, Cole.
Yeah, if it's there. There was a lot of room, a lot of green grass when he turned the corner.
So the Valley Huskers have a first down inside the 20. They enter the VI Raiders red zone. And there is 6:15 and counting here in the first half. This is a very interesting formation here. Take a peek at this one, Cole, by the Valley Huskers. They got many guys on the line of scrimmage there. And I believe he got a timeout signaled from the VI Raiders bench.
Raiders obviously didn't like the personnel they were in.
Well, this gives us an opportunity to do some shout-outs today, Cole. We wanted to give a shout-out to Caged Athletics, a friend of the show, a friend of the VI Raiders. We wanted to thank the SIP down here in Harewood, Nanaimo, the south side. The SIP, always great wings and beverages down there at the SIP. We also wanted to thank Wolf Brewery, who's another contributor to the VI Raiders today. And whoever you are, whether you're Caged, the SIP, or Wolf Brewery, we thank you so much for your contributions to the VI Raiders football program. It's people like you that make this program continue to roll on. There's a great, rich history and tradition here with the Raiders, Cole. You played for the Raiders for 5 years, Cole, and talk about the history of the VI Raiders here for quickly.
Yeah, a ton of history. I'm very thankful and lucky enough to be, have memories of, being a little boy, being, 9, 10 years old, getting dropped off on a Saturday down at Caledonia Park to go watch the, Jordan Yance led VI Raiders back in the heydays. I remember the Andrew Harris days at Caledonia Park, as you mentioned. Not a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th year Raider, actually. I was a 3-year Raider. And just a lot of tradition, a lot of history that comes with this program. Very lucky and fortunate I was able to put on this uniform. And I think that's what Sean and a lot of these guys on the coaching staff are trying to do is trying to restore some of that history.
So it's second down and short, and they're going to give it to Harb up the middle, and he's got the first down inside the 15-yard line of the Raiders. And this Valley Huskers offense, Cole, settling in here. They are moving the football.
They are. Let's see what happens here as the Huskers are nearing scoring territory, as I believe they just enter the red zone here.
The Raiders substitute Gavin Taylor back in the game here. And the Huskers are just outside the 10-yard line. It's not goal to go. It's 1st and 10. And I always liked, when I used to play Madden, Cole, I always liked being 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line because you can get a new set of downs inside the 3. They're going to bootleg Dorsey, and he throws to the left, and it's right through the hands of number 3, Dag Mora. That was a catchable football, Cole. Mora unable to hold on.
Yeah, I like what I've seen from Dorsey here. Very composed, delivered a very catchable football, one that Dag Mora would like to hang on for sure.
So that will bring up a 2nd down here. And if you're the Valley Huskers, Cole, you do not want to settle for another 3. Trading field goals for touchdowns is not a recipe for winning football games.
No, absolutely. They know that they have the points with Turner as their kicker and having the proven leg from 37, I believe it was, in the first quarter. They're absolutely looking for 6 points here.
So we get a little stoppage here, and Dorsey will head to the sidelines to get some further instructions from his offensive coordinator, Todd Hunter. I talked to Kai before the game. I said, Kai, you are a guy who's got 3 first names in 2 names. Kai, Todd, Hunter. And if you can't tell, folks, that is what we call filler time. So anyhow, it is a 2nd down and 9 here, and they will send Dorsey back into the huddle here. There's an injured Husker. It's number 69. That is Victor Rasmussen, who is leaving the field here. He's able to walk off, carried by his teammate there and the trainer. And it's a 2nd down and 9 inside the Raider 15-yard line here. And they're going to put Dorsey in the shotgun. And they've got Harb beside him. 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen, 2 to the top. Dorsey in the shotgun. Raiders will bring 4. Stands in. Dorsey rolling to the right. Still on his feet. Throws back of the end zone. Open man, and it is caught for the touchdown. That is Jawad Harb on the running back wheel route.
Terrific pocket presence there by Dorsey. Felt the pressure coming off the right side of the offensive line. I believe it was Tanai Wisdom who was putting on the pressure. Was able to step up, evade outside of the pocket, roll to his right, and find Jawad Harb on the running back wheel. I believe it was Colton Finstad on coverage. Just wasn't able to locate the football and turn his head.
Colton Finstad. He is a great run-stopping linebacker for the Raiders, but he's doing something that he has not been asked to do a lot there, and that's cover the running back deep downfield. So the Valley Huskers have taken the lead here. It is 9-7 now with the extra point still to come, and Carson Turner is in to kick it. The ball is put down well, and the kick by Turner is through the uprights, and it is 10-7. It was a good, close, competitive football game last year, Cole. Early indications are it's going to be the exact same this year.
Yes, honestly, I'm really looking forward to not wanting to get ahead of ourselves too much here, but this second half, as we're still about 4.5 minutes here to go in the first half, this should be a good ball game and finish up as a really close one.
So this gives us a chance here, Cole, with the Raiders special teams coming out here, an opportunity to talk about the new special teams coordinator, the VI Raiders, Tarek Bryan. Cole, what has he brought to the team as voiced to you by head coach Sean Arabsky?
A ton. As we've talked about before, I believe probably mostly off camera, Noah, not only on the field with all those, titles with special teams coordinator, defensive line coach, but all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes with all the general manager duties.
And the kick will take Harmon Ahuja for a little bit of a spin here. He's able to pick it up eventually. He's on the run, and a tremendous tackle made on the play by number 29. That's a Johnny Cadogan with the tackle there for the Valley Huskers. Great downfield coverage, and the Raiders will start backed up deep in their own territory.
Terrific play by Johnny there. He's actually been playing the corner spot for the Valley Huskers here today. Making plays on special teams is something that, very selfless of you to do when you're, playing defense, and going down on special teams is not an easy task to do.
So the Raiders will scrimmage from their own 27-yard line here. And Braden Jupe, it's been an up-and-down day so far. He's missed a couple, but he has made some really impressive throws here for the Raiders. If not for the short yardage situation, the Raiders really should have more points on the board. It is a first down at the 27-yard line, and Jupe is in the shotgun with the running back behind him. That's Lyle. They're going to fake the give to him. They throw the flat to Moskrip, and Parker Moskrip is having a huge day here in the first half. He's got another first down, a gain of about 18 there. Moskrip took a big shot at the end of that one, but he's a tough son of a gun. He will get right back up, bang the helmet, and say, give me more.
He's feeling out for that one, but I would imagine the guy, no, he's going down.
Oh, no, and that is not who you want to see go down if you're the VI Raiders. Cole, I talked to offensive coordinator Jake LeBerge earlier this week, and I said, who would be the toughest guy to replace on really your entire offense? He said, there is no one that can do what Parker Moskrip does for this offense. Yeah,
and doesn't even wait for the trainers to come out. He's jogging off the field, so hopefully a good sign for the Raiders. But not only what he's able to do as a receiver by his position, I guess you could say, but as you've seen, lines up in the backfield. Short yardage quarterback will line up willingly as a fullback, H-back type. A guy that has as I said earlier, a big floor, but even a higher ceiling as a player.
He's able to block. He's able to cover kicks. And he certainly, as you've seen, folks, can catch the football with the best of them. First down, they fake the jet sweep to Bonsu. They set up a screen. It's not there. Drew rolls to the right. He's chased from behind, and he throws a dangerous pass, which is knocked down by the Valley Huskers, intended for Rondé Lyle. It was number 7, Jack Winey, in there who knocked the ball down.
Yeah, that was a tough one. That was dead from either way. If that was completed, there was linemen downfield. So at the end of the day, no harm, no foul. Was incomplete pass.
So a second down and 10 here, and the Raiders looking to improve that second down conversion percentage. They had a tough game last week against the Okanagan Sun in the Apple Bowl, 44-0 against the Sun. But these are two very evenly matched teams here, Cole, and you're seeing it. The Valley Huskers giving the Raiders all they can handle. Second down and 10. Jupe's got the snap. He's going deep. Got a man open. It's Bonsu. And Ruben Bonsu makes a tremendous catch and takes a wicked shot. But it looks like the safety got the worst of that one. Bama Bonsu, you are ridiculous.
What a catch. I think both players are feeling it after that one, but Ruben able to, if you're going to go up for those, the receivers would always say, you're going to get hit anyways, you might as well catch it.
Wow. You want to talk about courage, Cole. Bonsu peaked, and he knew he was going to take a shot there. That is just pure courage, willing to put your body on the line for your team. Bonsu got clobbered, but he makes the catch and gives the Raiders a first down. That is why he's the Raiders All-Canadian.
Braden Jupe putting his arms around his receiver there. Ruben Bonsu must be telling him, say, sorry, man, sorry for that one. A little bit of a suicide ball.
So a first down as the injured Valley Husker safety heads off the field here. And you can't blame him after that one. That was a heck of a collision there.
Yeah, I believe it's Adam Greenhill making his way off the field there, as you mentioned, delivering quite a blow, and hopefully he's okay.
So a one-high safety look here by the Valley Huskers. And you get a late substitution. That's number 83, and I believe that is Dorian Sifton coming into the game here for the Raiders, as the Raiders look to punch this ball into the end zone and take the lead near the half here. It's first down at the 40-yard line. The referees are going to have a little discussion here. What do you want for dinner, John? I'm thinking mac and cheese. Well, I was thinking something a little more extravagant, like fettuccine Alfredo. Well, no, you know what? How about we settle on spaghetti and meat sauce? We'll meet in the middle with a red sauce. So the referees have their discussion. They are done, and we are good to go here. First down to the 40-yard line, and Braden Jupe is in the shotgun with Lyle behind him. Bonsu is the motion man. They fake it to Bonsu. They give it to Lyle, and again, just nothing doing for Rondé Lyle in the middle of that Valley Huskers defense.
Yeah, that play was sniffed out very early on. Number 55 in the middle of that Huskers defense beat his block and was able to meet Lyle in the backfield.
So a loss of 2 on the play, and the Valley Huskers have the Raiders right where they want them in second and long. Do you expect defensive coordinator Cole, do you expect James Moore to bring some pressure here on second down?
Yeah, I'd be curious to see what he has up his bag of tricks here on second down.
Looks like a 4-man rush. That's all it is. Jupe's got the snap, pump fake, stepping up, Gets out of the pocket. Braden Jupe doing a nice job extending the play. Finds Bonsu. Bonsu inside the 30. And Bama Bonsu is down to the 21-yard line with a first down for the Raiders. And Braden Jupe, Cole, continuing to extend the play against that four-man rush. If you're going to give him time, you got to give your receivers time to get open downfield. Jupe doing a good job of that.
Some more terrific pocket presence there by Braden Jupe. Feeling a little bit of the pressure around him, was able to step up in the pocket, escape to the right side, and able to find a wide-open Ruben Bonsu for the first down.
We're here in Nanaimo. If you're just joining us, I'm Noah Atnikov, joined by my color commentator, Cole McGarvey. It has been an interesting first half, a back-and-forth battle between the Valley Huskers and the VI Raiders. The Raiders having short yardage problems early in the game, but getting that sorted out here. They are deep in Husker territory at the 23-yard line. Jupe's got the snap. He fakes the give. He's going to take a shot. He's got Bonsu one-on-one. Bonsu back of the end zone, and incomplete. The ball falls to the turf. But I like the Raiders there, Cole, staying aggressive, taking their shots downfield.
I do too. I think anytime you got Ruben Bonsu one-on-one, you got to at least give him an opportunity in those situations a few times a game, and you could even maybe say a few times a quarter.
The go route down the right sideline, unable to hook up with Bonsu. There is .2:11 to go in the first half here. As the Raiders, this would be a huge touchdown to take the lead before the half here and have all the momentum going into the second half. 3 to the top of your screen. Jupe with time, over the middle. Blaze McCarty drops the ball and gets clobbered after the drop. And that is a big missed opportunity for the Raiders, Cole. And now, deep in Husker territory, they have a decision to make, and it's no decision at all. They're going to bring out Cole McQueen for what's going to be a deep attempt here as far as CJFL standards are concerned. Excited to see if the man with the $1 million name can bang this one through. We'll see how far it's going to be.
Yeah, unfortunate there for the Raiders offense is a play that's drawn up by Coach LeBurge. I know he's very comfortable with. It looked to me that it was the Pittsburgh, not to give too much away, and actually I shouldn't, but let's see what happens here with Cole McQueen.
Cole McQueen is going to line up a 30-yarder here from the right hash. He's a right-footed kicker out of Winnipeg, Manitoba, which happens to be my hometown as well. So I'd be lying if I said I don't want Cole McQueen to knock this one through. The ball is up, and the ball is good, and the man with the $1 million name has connected from 30 yards away and tied the game for the VI Raiders. It is 10-10 with just about 2 minutes to go here in the first half.
Something that's got to feel good for Cole McQueen. I know we talked a little bit about it. I want to say week 1 up in Kamloops after he missed an extra point. Getting to see the ball go through the uprights on a field goal attempt like that's got to feel good.
So a good competitive football game here in Nanaimo, British Columbia. The Raiders and the Huskers tied at 10 here, and Cole McQueen is set to boot this ball away. He had a good-looking kickoff the first time. We'll see if he can do that again here. It's another dandy, and it drives him back to the 8-yard line. And the return for the Valley Huskers straight up the middle. He's able to get past the first wave, chased from behind, and there are penalty flags down. He's brought down out past the 40-yard line. We'll see if this one's coming back, Cole.
Andrea, once again, a very big weapon for the Valley Huskers return unit. As I mentioned, last week's BCFC Special Teams Player of the Week has continuously got his team into good field position here today.
We wait to check on the flag here. Special Teams Coordinator Tarek Bryan is going to be very intrigued to hear what that one is. The referees having a little conversation here, and they are going to move this one back. It looks like it is coming back, so good news for the Raiders there. It'll back the Huskers up near around their 30, 25-yard line. And the VI Raiders, Cole, what have you thought of their defensive? he got Dorsey and brought him down, Cole?
That's going to be one I think Keyshawn Dorsey's going to want back when he watches the film. I thought he had Josh Calverley here out to their near side sideline here, but I don't know if he didn't see him or the pressure just got there, and it was unfortunate he wasn't able to dump it off.
Well, there's two sides to the coin, Cole. It was definitely a missed opportunity by Dorsey, but a well-done job by Colton Finstad of spying one of the most athletic quarterbacks in the BCFC. So 2nd down and long here for the Huskers. Dorsey drops straight back. He's going to take a deep shot down the sideline, and Felice Toscano was in perfect position in his deep third responsibility there, Cole.
It's not too often a lot of opposing quarterbacks are testing Felice Toscano. As you can see there, not a lot of completions given up when targeting number 1 for the VI Raiders.
He is a fifth-year man, born and raised here in Nanaimo, BC. Went to local John Barsby High School. I've talked to Felice. He's a really nice young kid and a good young man. And the Raiders, those are the kind of guys they want to build around, Cole. Leadership, a really important thing for this football team.
And a guy that's absolutely worked for everything that he's gotten. Came into this program as somewhat of a raw, unmolded piece of clay, and he's been molded into quite the player.
He was actually a receiver when he started here, and it wasn't until a little while after that they found out, hey, this guy's a heck of a DB. Why don't we move him there? And the rest is history. Felice Toscano looking to get an all-Canadian effort this year, and it's plays like that that are going to get the attention of the voters nationwide. He had deep third, cover 3 responsibility on that one, and he played it tremendously. He was actually in better position than the receiver was. So we got a little stoppage in play here. As we take a look at the clock here, there's 1:06 to go in the first half. And what have you thought so far? Any things you've noticed in this game, Cole, that maybe the average viewer wouldn't?
No, I think it's been pretty fun here early on as we've made our broadcast debut. I'm curious to see what happens here with the Raiders getting possession of the football with just over a minute to go. If they're able to cash in and get some points on the board, doesn't even have to be necessarily with 6 points. If they're able to get Cole McQueen into field goal range and get a lead going into halftime, I think that would be a huge win for the Raiders' offense. On the other side of things, for the Valley Huskers, I think this is a huge opportunity there for them, for their defense to get a stop here, go into the half with a tie football game, and I think you feel great going into the half 10-10 and feel like you've left a lot out on the football field still.
So it will be a 3rd down for the Huskers, 1:06 to go. And we'll see if the Raiders can move this ball in a range for Cole McQueen to maybe give them a lead before halftime. Raiders show all-out block here, and they're going to bring it, but the kick is away. Ahuja lets it bounce, takes it at the 42, steps up, Ahuja up the middle, and taken down there. There are markers down. I'm wondering if that's going to be no yards or if that's going to be a block in the back. We got another flag down here. That looks like it's in the vicinity of a personal foul, and that might be a late hit on the Valley Huskers. There's a player down for the Huskers there, Cole. And bedlam has ensued here in Nanaimo. Yeah,
judging by the reaction of the Raiders sideline and the crowd over in the far side of the field, I would imagine this penalty is going to go on Valley, as we do believe have a Valley Husker player down. It seemed like the Husker players were waving quite frantically to the trainer, so hopefully he's able to get off the field here and be okay. No, on a positive here, well, we have a little bit of time, to be quite honest. Something that I've loved to see and I think has been a huge dividends for this Raider organization, starting with at the top with head coach Sean Arabsky and everything he has with Caged Athletics. The young people here in the crowd and over to our left, in behind our left end zone here, you can see the little kids. Maybe you'd like to see them watching a little bit more, but they're playing here, as I mentioned, in the back left end zone, playing a little bit of football. There's a ton of young fans in the crowd with all their, John Barsby football jerseys and the Buenos Whalers and Southside football programs showing up here. So it's been a fantastic thing to see with their buy-in to the community and the young demographic pay off for the Raiders here early on in their first game of the season.
Yeah, it's I do a little bit of the coaching with Sean, actually, for his Caged Athletics football. Sean is gracious enough to give me a little bit of extra help paying my rent, Cole, and give me some employment coaching the quarterbacks with his young boys, the young group there, with the Caged Athletics. It's a really good program. Sean does a tremendous job with the young kids here in Nanaimo, building relationships, and he really does care about more than just them as a football player. Sean's a really fun guy, Cole. You spent a lot of time around him. Definitely an interesting character. He's a guy I loved coaching for last year. Yeah, he was the right guy to be placed in this position for the VI Raiders. In a lot of uncertainty getting into 2022, 2023, and Sean ends up stepping up on an interim basis and really bringing a lot of stability to this program. And as you mentioned, we can actually see down to the left here, as I said, with the Cage Athletic shirts on, and some of these kids that have been in their programs, whether it be the camps or the flag football that they've been able to do, and really get the football culture here on Vancouver Island starting to go into a positive direction. But you love to see some of these young kids get out here, and I was able to be lucky enough to be a young ball boy and a water boy on the Raiders sideline back in my day. So just a huge dividends and pays off in the community when you're able to get that buy-in and kind of relationship with the younger fans. We've got an injured player down here for the Valley Huskers, and it does seem to be quite serious. We are going to throw it to commercial break. We'll be right back here, the BCFC action.
Do you want a dealership to tackle the banks and get you the lowest rates possible? I know I do. That's why you got to visit vidrives.ca today to buy a car the easy way. 3 steps and the car's right at your door. Are you tired of other dealerships fumbling your deals? I know I am. Visit Canada's #1 Google rated dealership at vidrives.ca.
Do you want a touchdown to savings and intercept a great deal?
I know I do, with over 600 pre-owned vehicles right here, right now, and 18 lenders. I mean, there's nowhere else to shop.
I think the team is ingrained in the community here, and it's something that, being part of Vancouver Island Drives and Vancouver Island Raiders, we felt like was a perfect fit. We want to support local teams, local businesses, and we feel like these are the guys to get it done this year. So we're super excited to get involved with the team. So let's go, boys. Let's fire it up. Woo!
The injured Valley Husker was able to make his way to the sideline here. There are 56 seconds to go in the first half here, Cole. And we'll see if the Raiders are able to move down the field here and get in field goal range for McQueen. This is a big drive before the end of the half for the Raiders. Cole, how aggressive do you want to be here? You got to be careful not to turn the ball over as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But you do want to be somewhat aggressive and having an opportunity to put some points on the board.
There's immediate pressure, and they dump off the screen to Jake Barker, and it's read well by the Valley Huskers, and he's taken down to the backfield for about an 8-yard loss there.
Yeah, Jake Winey on the tackle there for the Valley Huskers, number 7. Been dealing with a little bit of injury for the Huskers here through the first few weeks, but a guy that's been looked upon in that defense and I think another level to get to.
So the Raiders in no huddle formation here, moving quickly. We're under 50 seconds to go in the first half. Jupe's got him to the line. It's a low snap, but he fields it. And Jupe's going to go deep down the middle for Bonsu, and it is overthrown. There's a penalty flag down on the near side here, and we'll wait to check the call from the official. There's 30 seconds to go in the first half. This is an interesting call here. If it goes against the Huskers, and it is going against the Huskers, it's going to give the Raiders a first down all the way to the 53-yard line. I know offensive coordinator Jake LeBear's goal's got to be grinning from ear to ear with that call.
He does. Definitely a favorable call for the VI Raiders, but I believe it's still second down showing here on the yard markers in front of us. Going to be an opportunity for the Raiders, though, to be in a manageable situation here to pick up this first down and maybe get into field goal range.
2nd down and about 7 here for the Raiders. They put Jupe in the shotgun. Lyle is behind him. 3 receivers to the top of the screen. Looks like a 3-man rush for Valley. That's all it is. Jupe's got all day, and he's got a man wide open downfield. The ball's tipped and falls harmlessly to the turf. A little miscommunication there between Blaze McCarty and Braden Jupe. The ball just thrown a little too far for Blaze to get to, Cole.
Yeah, I think that's another one Jupe's going to want back when he goes back and watches the film. Just the ball hanging up there just a tad too long. Had Blaze McCarty down the sideline, Braden Masson was able to make up the difference there and break up the pass.
So a 3rd down for the Raiders, and at this point, all you're hoping for is good downfield special teams coverage to send you into the locker room with a 10-10 ball game. McQueen is in to punt it. And the man with the $1 million name gets an absolute beauty away here with a ton of hang time. And that player for the Valley Huskers, is taken down immediately by the Raiders. That is amazing downfield coverage by the Raiders there, Cole.
Kaya Saunders on the tackle there. Kaya's had himself a pretty good first half in his first start of the season.
Cole, how much does it help a kick coverage team when you have a guy like McQueen who can get that kind of hang time on the ball?
Yeah, that was terrific. It worked out pretty good timing-wise with the ball landing in the returner's hands and Kaya being right there to make the tackle.
Also staying away from that halo, the 5-yard halo, no yards here in Canada. The Raiders were not penalized there. Doing a good job. They're coached well by that special teams coordinator, Tarek Bryant. They're going to put Keyshawn Dorsey in the shotgun. The sidecar is Jawad Harb, and they are going to go conservative here to end the half. They're going to run it with Harb, and he's got a minimal gain of about 4. And we'll see how much time we've got here in the first half. We got 9 seconds to go. This should be the final play of the first half here once it's blown in by the official. So final play of the first half here. And the Valley Huskers are going to be in shotgun formation with 2 in the backfield. And I would expect this will just be a run with Harb. And that's all. Oh, it's a little miscommunication in the backfield. And Keyshawn Dorsey takes a little lick there from the Raiders. But that will send us to halftime here. Cole, any observations you've noticed?
Honestly, pull ahead here with 2 quarters remaining.
So we are going to send this one to halftime here. It's been a very interesting first half. Short yardage stops from the Valley Huskers, big plays from both teams, and a good defensive battle from 2 head coaches that have got to be pleased with the defensive efforts from their teams. 2 defensive-minded head coaches, Bob Reist for the Valley Huskers and Sean Arabsky for the VI Raiders. It'll be an interesting second half. We'll see how it plays out when we come back. This is the BCFC.
Okay, team, let's have a great show.
Rank is reflected in the positions and names.
Do you want a dealership to tackle the banks and get you the lowest rates possible? I know I do. That's why you got to visit vidrives.ca today to buy a car the easy way. 3 steps and the car's right at your door.
Are you tired of other dealerships fumbling your deals?
I know I am. We're Canada's #1 Google rated dealership at vidrives.ca.
Do you want a touchdown to savings and intercept a great deal?
I know I do, with over 600 pre-owned vehicles right here, right now, and 18 lenders. I mean, there's nowhere else to shop.
I think the team is ingrained in the community here, and it's something that, being part of Vancouver Island Drives and Vancouver Island Raiders, we felt like was a perfect fit. We want to support local teams, local businesses, and we feel like these are the guys to get it done this year. So we're super excited to get involved with the team. So let's go, boys. Let's fire it up. Woo!
Okay, team, let's have a great show.
Rank is reflected in positions and names.
Do you want a dealership to tackle the banks and get you the lowest rates possible? I know I do. That's why you got to visit vidrives.ca today to buy a car the easy way. 3 steps and the car's right at your door.
Are you tired of other dealerships fumbling your deals?
I know I am. We're Canada's #1 Google rated dealership at vidrives.ca.
Do you want a touchdown to savings and intercept a great deal?
I know I do, with over 600 pre-owned vehicles right here, right now, and 18 lenders. I mean, there's nowhere else to shop.
I think the team is ingrained in the community here, and it's something that, being part of Vancouver Island Drives and Vancouver Island Raiders, we felt like was a perfect fit. We want to support local teams, local businesses, and we feel like these are the guys to get it done this year. So we're super excited to get involved with the team. So let's go, boys. Let's fire it up. Woo!
Okay, team, let's have a great show.
Frank is the black kid in the positions and names.
Do you want a dealership to tackle the banks and get you the lowest rates possible? I know I do. That's why you gotta visit vidrives.ca today to buy a car the easy way. 3 steps and the car's right at your door.
Are you tired of other dealerships fumbling your deals?
I know I am. We're Canada's #1 Google rated dealership at vidrives.ca.
Do you want a touchdown to savings and intercept a great deal?
I know I do, with over 600 pre-owned vehicles right here, right now, and 18 lenders. I mean, there's nowhere else to shop.
I think the team is ingrained in the community here, and it's something that, being part of Vancouver Island Drives and Vancouver Island Raiders, we felt like was a perfect fit. We want to support local teams, local businesses, and we feel like these are the guys to get it done this year. So we're super excited to get involved with the team. So let's go, boys. Let's fire it up. Woo!
with a minute to go here before we get the second half started, Cole, it's a good opportunity for us to introduce our new segment to the fans here. This is Cole's Keys to the Game, and today it's going to be Cole's Keys to the second half. Let's talk about the keys to the game if you're the VI Raiders to getting out with a victory here today.
Yeah, it might be a little bit similar for both sides if we're being quite honest. I know we mentioned it a few times throughout the broadcast for both offenses anyways, of just being able to finish drives, right, where they're able to get some first downs, pick up some yards through the air and on the ground, but unable to finish with points on the football and coming up into a little adversity. And to end the half, both teams were able to overcome that adversity and get the ball into the end zone or into scoring positions. But starting with the VI Raiders, I think just trying to establish this run with Rondé Lau a little bit more and trying to get them into those second manageable situations. It's not for a lack of effort on the behalf of the VI Raiders. They've certainly tried, but just not been able to get a consistent enough push up front and been able to open up enough holes. I've liked what I've seen from them trying to commit to this run game. I just think they need to be a little bit better in the execution department. When it comes to the defense, I feel like the defense has played fairly well through 30 minutes of the game, 10 points given up. I believe the touchdown came early on in the first quarter, if I'm not mistaken. Other than that, they were pretty tight. I'm curious to see how they finish this game with the 30 minutes remaining here and how some of those adjustments that I'm sure that the coaching staff talked over at halftime will be implemented here in the second half. Special teams-wise, I'd love to see Harmon Ahuja continue to attack the return game as he has in the first half. And it would be nice to see him maybe pop a return or two to get maybe some momentum here early on for the Raiders or even generate some good field position for the Vancouver Island Raiders. When it comes to the Valley Huskers, I think Keyshawn Dorsey's been a pretty good leader for them and operator of their offense, but just, again, unable to finish. And I feel like they've been at their best when Keyshawn Dorsey's been scrambling and picking up first downs through with his legs. I feel like if the Valley Huskers are going to be able to win this one, they're going to have to get a little bit more better and cohesive and maybe on the same page through the passing game, or in the passing game, I should say. Defensively, kind of similar to the VI Raiders, I feel like James Moore, defensive coordinator, would be pretty happy with his team's effort. But just coming back up into the booth, I saw he was pretty animated and very fired up talking to his defense. Would imagine he wants more, and probably for both defenses, something to maybe look at in the second half is maybe generating some turnovers to create some extra possessions for their offenses and creating those extra possessions. So it'll be interesting to keep an eye on here, both sides, as it is a 10-10 ball game starting our second half. I believe we're getting an injured player just picked up here by the ambulance, as we can see on the far side of the field, awaiting the start of this second half. But Noah, so far so good through two quarters. I feel like we're doing pretty good in our broadcast debut. But how are you feeling, buddy, from maybe a Raiders standpoint?
Well, for the Raiders' perspective, it's nice to see Braden Jupe taking care of the ball. He had the 3 costly turnovers last week, the fumble and the 2 interceptions that set up the Valley Huskers with tremendous field position to grab that 42-0 lead over the VI Raiders that we mentioned before. But from the Raiders' perspective, protect the football. Your defense is playing well. Continue to protect the ball. Don't turn the ball over. Let your defense hunt. They've been doing a good job of that. I think offensively for both teams, Cole, really both teams have been at their best when their quarterbacks are improvising and extending the play using their legs. But we get set to start the second half here. Both teams eagerly awaiting this kickoff. The ambulance is on the field. There was a severe injury here, and we hope nothing but the best for that player. You see down there's Jeremy Kahn, Cole, down on the field. He is working the play clock tonight. And Cole, as a former quarterback, did you ever have any issues with that play clock? Do they always have it up in the back of the end zone for the VI Raiders here?
It's funny you say that, Noah, as I have a little bit of a chuckle here because I guess whatever you want to say it, I wasn't lucky enough, I wasn't blessed enough. I actually went to school here at NDSS High School in Nanaimo District Secondary. I was actually unlucky enough to not be able to play at this field during my high school career. I believe the field was made 2020, I believe, during the COVID pandemic. And during my Vancouver Island Raiders career, I actually played at Caledonia Park, the Caledonia Park that holds all that rich tradition and history. There's no play clock at Caledonia Park, no, I might add. So our play clock back in the day was maybe the head referee, the white hat, kind of just yelling at you.
You got 10 seconds, kid.
Kind of thing. So, not too much to say in terms of maybe an issue, but I feel like the head referee more often than not gave us a few extra seconds usually.
So maybe a little nice to have that benefit of the doubt, a few extra seconds on the play clock. There's no margin for error here at Nanaimo District Secondary School in Nanaimo. and you have the 20-second play clock in both sides of the end zones. So no excuses for quarterbacks when they come back to the huddle and say, Coach, I didn't know we were out of time. No, you had that play clock, my friend. There's no excuses. And here comes McQueen, the man with the $1 million name, set to kick it off here in the second half. Cole McQueen wearing number 95, reminiscent of the great Lightning McQueen from those amazing movies back in the day. If you're a millennial like me, you'll definitely remember those ones. And here is McQueen set to kick it off. We're all good to go here in the second half. This should be an outstanding second half of football. A tight game, 10-10. We are tied at the half, and the play is blown in from the official, and we are good to go here in the Nanaimo. And here is the kickoff by McQueen, and it drives the returner back to the 15-yard line, and he's going to toss it to his buddy back there, and it doesn't matter because Israel Waitman was all over that one with the tackle there, and that will bring out Keyshawn Dorsey. And Cole, what did you see from Keyshawn Dorsey in that first half that he can build on?
I think a little bit of the same from Keyshawn Dorsey in the past few weeks, right? Where he's used his athletic ability tremendously, escaping the pocket and being able to pick up first downs, but unable to, I feel like, be in full rhythm as a passer offensively. He has made some nice throws here today, but I still feel like there's some more to be had out there for him.
We're glad you're joining us wherever you are. I'm Noah Atnikov along with Cole McGarvey here, and we are set for what should be a very exciting second half. And on first down, Dorsey's going to swing it out there, and the pass is complete to Josh Caverly, and he's tackled on the play. Max Shipham was in on that one, and Cole, Max Shipham, the Winnipeg native, straight out of Winnipeg, he is a good-looking first-year player for the Raiders.
He is. I know a lot of expectations placed on Max's shoulders coming into this season. A terrific football player, but an athlete as well with his size and stature.
So a second down and 9 here for Dorsey, and they'll put him in the shotgun with the sidecar to his right. 3 receivers to the top of the screen. The snap to Dorsey. Here comes the blitz by the Raiders. Dorsey with time, throws the sail route, and it is complete. And a good-looking throw there by Dorsey to open the second half. The pass complete to the man you mentioned before, Josh Caverly.
He's been a fantastic player to watch here early on in the season for the Valley Huskers. As I mentioned, Peyton Lake kind of looked at as the Huskers wide receiver one, and I feel like they kind of had a little bit of questions with Luke Rodriguez moving on in the offseason as who would be that kind of secondary threat in the receiving corps, and Caverly sure stepped up here through 3 games.
So a first down out of the 45-yard line, and Dorsey's got the snap here. It's RPO action, but he's going to give it to the big man. And number 0, Jawad Harb, takes that ball close to a first down yardage. He's within a yard of it. It'll be second down and 1. What have you seen from Jawad Harb here in the first half, Cole?
Started off the season pretty hot down in Langford when he took on the West Shore Rebels. Just under 100 yards rushing. I believe he finished with 99 on the day. Last week was pretty quiet. And wanted to see the Huskers establish him a little bit more in today's game. And it's not that they haven't. I feel like just some of the holes have been shut down by the Raiders defense here today.
So a second down and 1, and they're going to go right back to Harb. He's stocked up immediately, but he's able to pull forward and push forward that big body, rolling for a first down. Valley on the move here.
Yeah, when I talked to Coach Reese pregame, I mentioned just a few things of, kind of what he thinks about his running back, and mentioned about being down on the field pregame, how physically imposing Jawad Harb was as a running back. As you could see there, met in the backfield, probably met a yard or two before that first down. He's able to fall forward for that first down and give his team a fresh set of downs.
So the Raiders defense getting a little workout here to start the second half. Valley is on the move. They are inside the Raiders side of the field. And the snap is to Dorsey, and he's going to roll to his left, and he's going to take off using those legs again. And a good tackle made by Aiden Bytel coming from that boundary halfback spot, able to get in there and stop him. Aiden Bytel, Cole, as we get more flags down on the field here. And this is a late one in the area of a personal foul, probably a late hit or maybe potentially an objectionable conduct penalty. We'll wait to see that one. But let's talk about Aiden Bytel for a second here, Cole. What have you seen from Aiden Bytel in the first 3 weeks for the VI Raiders? He's expected to be a big addition for them.
He was a player that impressed me early on, getting word that the VI Raiders were picking him up via the West Shore Rebels. Spent time with the Rebels organization last season. Was a pretty good player for the Rebels in his rookie season. Able to come up here with the VI Raiders and really jump into the starting lineup right away and be an impact player.
He's playing that boundary half, and if you know anything about Canadian football, if you're going to start a guy there at that boundary half, he's got to be able to tackle, he's got to be able to cover. Aiden Bytel showing you right there on that previous play, he can tackle with the best of them in the secondary. So it gives the Valley Huskers a first down right around the 42-yard line. They put Dorsey in the gun, and he'll give it, and it is up the middle to Harb, and Harb is stacked up there by a bunch of Raiders for a minimal gain. And what have you seen from the defensive line of the Raiders, Cole? I've been impressed with the loss of Quintarius Lusk. It hasn't really affected the run game too much. Declan Robbins, a senior there on the defensive line, Harris playing the end. How have they stopped the run on Harb so far?
I'm glad you mentioned the loss of Quintarius Lusk. Definitely a thing to keep an eye on. As soon as he left the game, if they were able to control this offensive line for the Valley Huskers. And I know Coach Rapsy likes to be quite multiple in his fronts and in his defense. They've been in a lot of 30 fronts here and been able to, stop the run and been able to create some pressure on the quarterback here.
And you see there Dorsey taking off up the middle, and he might need to get a new jersey next week. There was a real strong pull of the jersey there from a Raider player, but we do have two players down and not moving much on the field right now. This is not a good sight, and you're going to get both trainers coming out here.
Well, we have a second, Noah. We do have some updates from around the BCFC as we have a few final scores to mention as the Langley Rams top the Kamloops Broncos with a final score of 28-2 at McLeod Athletic Park here early in the day. That was a 4 o'clock kickoff over in Langley.
Maybe not quite as big of a margin of victory as you might have expected, hey, Cole?
Yeah, for sure, with the Langley Rams getting their second victory of the season last week, being this very Valley Huskers team, able to get their second win in the Coach Barron era. And when you look at a very interesting game, the one that I was keeping an eye on multiple times throughout the game here to this afternoon, one that went back and forth quite a bit that saw actually the West Shore Rebels take a 24-12 halftime lead just to be, outdone by the Okanagan Sun with a comeback victory 43-39 in an absolute thriller down the island at Starlight Stadium. I believe that is Michael Bosch, who is leaving the field, number 16 for the VI Raiders.
Good to see Bosch able to walk off on his own power. That was a thundering blow delivered by both players on that one, and Bosch was down, and he was not moving much. So it's good to see him on his feet, walking to the sidelines on his own power. And the Valley Huskers are moving this football here to start the second half. They are first down and 10 at the Raiders' 30-yard line as Dorsey comes back into the huddle. The huddle is about 30 yards away from the ball here. It's not a traditional huddle, but it is a huddle nonetheless, and Dorsey will come to the line here. And the Raiders, they got to hold Valley to 3 here. You can't give up 7 to start the second half. Dorsey in the shotgun, 2 to the top of your screen, a bunch formation down to the bottom, and it was just eye candy because it's going right up the middle of the big fella, and Harb is inside the 5, and he's brought down at the 2-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle made on the play by the Raiders, but a huge run, the biggest of the day for Harb, Cole.
Yeah, that was a massive hole opened up there by the Valley Huskers offensive line. You could have drove a truck through that one. Harb was able to hit it, get to full speed, and continue to get the football down to the goal line here, the VI Raiders.
So it's goal line time for the Huskers, and the Raiders will send in the big boys. They're looking to get a stop here. The ball is at about the 3-yard line, and we'll see if the Huskers go back to the money man. Their big fella in the backfield, Jawad Harb. Does he get the call on first down and goal here? Raiders showing blitz. And there's a penalty flag down. And is that going to be delay of game? It is, Cole. That's a huge penalty that instead of first down and goal at the 3-yard line, now it's going to be first and goal at the 8. A good sign if you're defensive coordinator Sean Arabsky.
It's funny that comes up as we just talked about it a few minutes ago about the play clock, right? A big one, a nice big one, very visible in the end zone here at both sides of NSSQ Stadium here in Nanaimo. one that I'm sure Keyshawn Dorsey would like to have back here.
How does that change the approach if you're the play caller, Cole? First and goal at the 3, you're probably thinking run. Now you might have to throw it, eh?
And I know it's a little bit different, right? When in NFL situations, maybe you like to get backed up. In the CFL with the wider end zone, I think you like to stay as close as you can to the goal line.
Well, nothing like throwing a 20-yard fade route from the 1-yard line. Play fake by Dorsey into the flat. It's picked off. It's Israel Waitman, and what an interception it is! And it will be a huge game-saving interception if the Raiders are able to come back and win this one. Mark that one down. The man from the United States of America, Israel Waitman, with a nose for the football, Cole.
Wow, what instincts there by Izzy Waitman, jumping that pass, a little flat pattern out in the left flat there by Keyshawn Dorsey, looking to deliver to his receiver who he thought was open. Izzy coming from his safety position. I talked with Coach Rabsky here earlier in the week how rangy of a player Izzy Waitman is, showing it off there, taking the ball away from the receiver and giving his team possession as the Huskers were looking to score the ball.
Mark that one down if the Raiders are able to win this football game. That is a huge momentum killer. And on first down, it's outside zone with Rondé Lyle, and he's able to get a little bit there, maybe a gain of about 4 on first down. Cole, I know you mentioned that offensive line of the Raiders. They got to do a better job in this second half of pushing the pile.
Yeah, it looked like there was a little bit of something there, and unfortunately it closed pretty quickly for the Valley Huskers defense. They get, I know I joked a little bit about it yesterday about, they get paid too. They lace them up too, just like the VI Raiders offense, so they're making plays on their end as well.
Yeah, as a couple of Canadian Football League fanatics ourselves, Cole, it's easy to slide that in where the defense gets paid too. Make no mistake, no one's getting paid here in junior football, at least over the table. No pun intended. First down and 10 for the second down and 6 for the VI Raiders, and here's Jupe in the gun, and he's going to throw a quick slant, and it's nowhere near anyone, and it's going to be punt time for the VI Raiders here. An inauspicious drive there for the Raiders.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate one for the VI Raiders offense. I'm sure, I feel like a win there, you could also pick up a few first downs, maybe flip the field and keep the Valley Huskers off the scoreboard, but not being able to pick up a first down there, it feels like a little bit of a letdown after the turnover.
Yeah, it's a game of momentum. You grab the interception, you steal it from the Valley Huskers deep in your territory. What a momentum shift that could have been if the VI Raiders were able to go down and get a touchdown or even a field goal in that situation. Instead, they are going to be punting backed up near their own goal line here, and the Huskers should get very good starting field position as McQueen is set to boot this one away. There's pressure, and it looks like it might have got tipped off the block, and it will bounce around at around the 42-yard line. It's picked up there by number 20. That is Grady Andrea, and he takes the ball inside the 40-yard line of the Raiders. There are markers down.
I think it's going to be no yards on the Raiders as well, giving them even more favorable field position here. Almost no harm, no foul done for the for the Valley Huskers offenses. They're going to get possession of the ball where basically they had it before they hit that big play to Jawad Harb.
So an exciting start to the second half. A lot of momentum swings here. You get the interception by Israel Waitman that could have been a huge momentum changer, but very quickly, the Raiders giving the ball right back to the Huskers, and the block kick, it looked like it was blocked. We'll wait for the official statisticians' numbers on that one. I think it was tipped.
Forgive me, Noah. If it is tipped, no yards is off?
That's a good point there, Cole. So you got to wonder, was it maybe just shanked by McQueen? The rush was on. They were in there on McQueen, and I'm sure special teams coordinator Tarek Bryant's going to have a talk with his protection team on that one. So I think we were right, Cole. I think they call off the no yards. There was no yards because the punt was blocked. Good thinking on that one, Cole. It'll be a first down at the 48-yard line is where the Huskers will begin this drive. The referee has blown it in, and Keyshawn Dorsey is all good to go here. He's got a bunch formation at the top of the screen, and he's going to give it to Harb. And Harb running hard. He's dragging Waitman with him, and he's gang tackled by a bunch of Raiders there. And it's a gain of close to 9 for Harb.
This is something I like to see from the Valley Huskers offense here. Came out in the second half, and they've really just dove into feeding Harb the ball out of the backfield, and he's been able to churn out first downs for them.
When you're opening holes, you can run a school bus through there, Cole. It's not hard to understand why the Valley Huskers are going to want to run the football. Maybe as time goes on and fatigue sets in here with the Raiders' defensive line, maybe the loss of Quintarius Lusk rearing its ugly head. Here comes a big blitz by the Raiders on 2nd and 1. They give it to Harb. He's into the secondary. Harb cuts to the right, and he is still going all the way inside the 20 before he's forced out of bounds by Waitman. And Harb is running like a madman in the second half here, Cole. The Raiders are going to have to get that figured out.
Yeah, Harb is fantastic here in the second half early on as we're only halfway through the quarter. I know if I'm Kai Todd Hunter, offense coordinator for the Valley Huskers, I'm continuing to lean into this and use my workhorse back as he has been.
All right, so first down as you hear the crowd getting into it for the Raiders. They know this is a big series for the Valley Huskers. The next team to score here is going to have all the momentum. And here comes Harb around the left side. His jersey is pulled, but they're unable to get him. That was Tanai Wisdom, who was trying to bring him down, but unable to do so. Harb chugging out the hard yards here.
As I said earlier, I think Harb is I don't want to say extremely underrated, but as a back, finished with just under 1,000 rushing yards last season and wasn't talked about as enough as I think it deserved to be. All the hype deservingly so about, Jaron Hardesty and Bruce Jones and the multiple backs around the conference. But Jawad Harb, as I mentioned, fantastic player and for my money up there as one of the best backs in the BCFC.
All right, so second down and short here, and they're going to drop Dorsey back to throw. He's under pressure, rolling to his left, and Sterling Henry's got him from behind. He's taken down for a sack, and Coach Sean Rapsky's going to love to see that. The blitz off the edge, Sterling Henry got him, Cole.
That was a huge play made by Sterling Henry there, able to take down Keyshawn Dorsey, as we've seen for basically all afternoon. And you could say scratch that for all season here. Keyshawn Dorsey's been able to escape the pocket and been able to pick up yards with his feet. Almost looks similar to what was going to happen there, and Sterling Henry was able to track him down.
Sterling Henry is one of the fastest players on the VI Raiders roster, and what a battle you've seen here in the first half a couple times between him and Keyshawn Dorsey. Those might be the two fastest players on the football field here today at the same time. It's been an absolute pleasure to watch that battle take place. Here's Rogan Vergata, the rookie quarterback out of Dakota High School in Winnipeg, to put it down, and the kick is good, and the Valley Huskers have taken a 13-10 lead there. As you see the kicker, Carson Turner, celebrate with the golf swing. That's just putting green for him, hey, Cole?
For the brand, that's a shout-out to Pat McAfee there with a little break out the 60-degree wedge and chip that one in there with, as I mentioned, the wedge shot. I love to see it from Turner.
So the Valley Huskers go ahead 13-10 on the VI Raiders as we start to see the sunset here at Nanaimo District Secondary School here in beautiful Vancouver Island. Cole, I got to tell you, man, when I was growing up, I grew up on the prairies. I'm not used to seeing these mountains, man. I remember the first time I got out here about 5 years ago, driving on hills. That was quite an adjustment for me. But, man, what a beautiful place this is to live. It
is absolutely hard to complain when you're calling a game from a stadium like this and a great venue that we are here.
Absolutely. So Braden Jupe will come in here. They haven't rolled the play clock yet, so it's one thing I love about Canadian football, Cole. The referee, the play clock doesn't just start when the ball hits the ground. It starts when the referee blows it in. It's kind of an interesting little intricacy of Canadian football. You got a flag, and you know what's interesting, Cole, is the play clock, when I took a look, there was 20 seconds on it, but there is going to be a delay of game call here, Cole. It's... Wow, that's
I believe
stop the simulation moment there as soon as I mention it.
Excuse me, no, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but I do believe, if I remember correctly, when we spoke to Coach Kahn, who is operating, I believe, the game day scoreboard here, that there maybe would be having some issues with the game day clock, and maybe they're not using it. It could be, as I mentioned, of maybe the white hat in the backfield and just maybe giving Braden Jupe the countdown.
Jupe with a play fake. He's going to roll to his right. He's got all day. He's chased from behind, and he is brought down from behind on the play. And that is number 94, Nick Reimer, who made the tackle for the Valley Huskers, and he immediately taps his hat. That was a long run from sideline to sideline in the CFL. He's going to need a substitution here, but a second down and long coming up for the Raiders, Cole. It's not the place you want to be.
Yeah, let's see what we got up our bag of tricks here for the VI Raiders offense and what Jake LeBurge is dialing up for a play call. As you can see, Braden Jupe wanting to get it again. Second and long, there isn't a lot of situations here, and you obviously wanting to be careful with the football, not wanting to turn it over in your own field position.
You better hurry it up here. That play clock is rolling. Jude calling signals. He's got the snap. He's back to throw. He's got a ton of time over the middle, and the catch is made by Blaze McCarty, and he's close to the first down. But again, Cole, we are going to get another 3rd and 1 here, and I hope it doesn't rear its ugly head for the VI Raiders.
Man, Braden Jupe is going to be having to, take out some of these receivers maybe for some dinner or maybe getting them a little something extra. He is putting them in some harm's way here, and the receivers are coming down with the ball. As I mentioned, as a receiver, you don't mind putting yourself in danger coming across the middle, but I feel like you might as well hold on to it if you're going to take that hit.
Yeah, you might as well catch it. You're going to get hit either way. 3rd down and 1. It'll be interesting to see what offensive coordinator Jake LeBears dials up here. They had some trouble with the 3rd and 1 in the first half. What does he have in store for us here? Jupe is in the shotgun here, and they're going to throw it on 3rd and 1. They're trying everything. The ball's caught by Bonsu at the 51-yard line. How about the kahunas on Jake LeBears there, Cole? 3rd down and 1, and he's throwing it down the sideline to Bonsu.
Yeah, I don't know necessarily if I agree with that, but hey, heck, why are you listening to us, Jake LeBears? It worked out, and the Raiders pick up a fresh set of downs. A very bold strategy there. Some might say a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if this one pans out, and it paid out for the VI Raiders.
That's why they pay him the big volunteer bucks. Jake LeBears is getting it done for the VI Raiders here. 1st down and 10 at the 51-yard line. Braden Jupe is in the shotgun, and he's got the snap, and he fakes the give, and he's going to roll the pocket to his left. Got tons of time. Throws a comeback route, and he one-hops it over there to Blaze McCarty near the sideline. Cole, rolling to your left as a quarterback, is that a little bit tougher to get your shoulders square at the last second?
Absolutely. It's a difficult throw, but one that I think Jupe wouldn't want the excuse and one that he wants back for sure. When he had, you look at Parker Mossrip coming in to block for him, making sure he picks up that end and give him enough space to deliver that football. Blaze McCarty, I think, was open enough and had enough separation for that one to be a completion.
And McCarty is the man with his knee down, and they'll send in the substitution, and that will be a guy that I've been very excited to watch. Dorian Sifton is the 6th man in that receiving core, and he will sub out Blaze McCarty. Dorian Sifton, let me tell you, Cole, he knows every route in the playbook. This is a 17, 18-year-old kid fresh out of high school, but he has a very high football IQ. His dad was sending him to Saskatchewan Rough Rider camps when he was a youngster. And, boy, Cole, let me tell you something. If I had to go and play against the Saskatchewan Rough Riders when I was 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, let's just say there might have been a cleanup on aisle 4. But it is a 2nd down and 10 for the Raiders here. And they're going to we got some John Cena. The time is now going on in the background here.
It's perfect timing with actually Cena's farewell tour. I don't know how much you pay attention. It comes across my algorithm from time to time. I definitely scrolled and took in a couple of those videos.
I love me some John Cena, Cole. Here's the pass downfield intended for Parker Mossgrip. And what more can you say about Parker Mossgrip, Cole? This guy is having an absolute whale of a game. There is no fear from Parker Mossgrip running those deep overs.
Yeah, and fantastic job to hold on to the contested catch there. Both defender and Parker going to the ground. They're battling for possession of the football. Referee signal right away. Ty usually goes to the receiver right away. But Parker Mossgrip must be closing in on darn near 50, 60 receiving yards here today, as he's been very effective coming across the middle for the VI Raiders here. And Braden Jupe's favorite target here this afternoon.
It's a nice security blanket to have. The big fella at 6'4". Mossgrip is the inside slot to the left here, and he is having by far his best day as a VI Raider here today. Jupe in the shotgun. Valley shows all-out pressure. They're going to bring it. They give it off the left side to Rondé Lyle. He's got a man. He's got space. He's inside the 35-yard line with a first down for the VI Raiders, and the Raiders finally chopping. Finally, that tree will come down, and the hole opens up, and Rondé Lyle runs right through it, Cole.
I like to see it from Coach Jake LeBears continuing to stick with the run. Holes will start to open up for them, and that was a massive one they were able to open up for Rondé Lyle. As you've seen with Rondé, kind of more similar to like a scat, one-cut type of back. He was able to break through the line, get into the second and third levels of the defense, and then make another defender miss before getting brought down.
The Raiders on the move here. We promised you it was going to be a good game, and that is exactly what it's shaping up to be. Jupe's got the snap, and he's going to give it to Rondé again. This time, a nice tackle made by number 30. That was Andy Afushane who made the tackle on that one. A good-looking player for the Valley Huskers.
I'm glad that you gave Andy's last name a shot before I did. That was one I was staying away with. Having a little bit of knowing who Andy was as a player, asking Coach Reese about him pregame, and actually he was one of our players to watch here today for our, as I mentioned, our Canadian Football Fanatics platform. We put out players to watch for each of the matchups. Andy was one of those to watch, but wanting to stay away from that one. No offense to Andy. I wanted to actually talk to him pregame to actually get how you phonetically say it, I guess.
As a broadcaster, Cole, there's certain names that'll keep you up late at night. That's one of them. Jupe throwing deep left side, and guess who? It's Parker Moscrip again. Jinx, you owe me a soda, Cole. The ball is inside the 15-yard line. It's a first down and goal for the VI Raiders as Parker Moscrip makes the catch, and the Raiders are on the move here.
And you can tell he's been worn quite out. Not too much celebration, not too much emotion from him getting up from the after that catch. But Parker Moscrip continues to impress here for the VI Raiders and has been the focal point of their offense here.
He's been their whole offense, Cole. Let's not sell him short. Every successful pass, with the exception of that amazing seam shot to Bonsu. I got to tell you, that's one of the best catches I've seen in quite some time by Ruben Bonsu. He continues to amaze me from that receiver position. But Moscrip's been doing most of the damage for the Raiders. It's first down just around the 10. They're going to give it to Rondé Lyle. He breaks a tackle and stumbles down inside the 5-yard line down to the 3. What do you like here in terms of the play call, Cole, at the 3-yard line?
I think with running the ball on first down, setting yourself up into a manageable situation here, I believe it's going to set up a first and goal as the quarter, I believe, will end, and they're going to switch sides. But as I said, the whole playbook opens up for you now down in second and goal. We saw it in the first touchdown of the game for the VI Raiders. Could they go to an RPO type situation, right, where they maybe go a read option type of thing, where they give Braden Jupe the true read of giving it to Rondé Lyle, maybe taking it and going in on yourself. And then we've seen obviously before the Parker Moscrip and his threat, as well as the third and short situation where we saw maybe question whether or not why they were in the gun. A short little slant route to Ruben Bonsu on the outside, possibly in a one-on-one situation down on the goal line, could also be something you look at here as well.
I'd be thinking H slice if I'm the Raiders, Cole. Moscrip's been the money man today. We'll see if the ball goes to him when we come back. They're moving the ball down all the way to the 3-yard line. It's a long walk. 110-yard field here in Canada, Cole. Cole, talk about a quick chance to shout out your Canadian Football Fanatics YouTube page you've been doing here. Talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, I appreciate that, buddy. Actually, if anybody that's listening is unaware, we like to think we do a pretty good job of covering the Canadian football landscape here with our Canadian Football Fanatics platform. You guys can find us on Instagram at Canadian Football Fanatics. You guys can also find us on Twitter or X, whatever the kids are calling it these days, at _CF Fanatics, as well as we are on YouTube at Canadian Football Fanatics. Noah and I will have a little bit of content actually coming out following today's game. We'll be doing a little bit of our game recap, giving you guys kind of how the game turned out, giving you guys our game balls as well, and something to look forward to after every VI Raiders home game.
We get set to start the fourth quarter here. Braden Jupe is under center from the 3-yard line, and a huge pivotal moment in this game. Valley with the lead, Raiders knocking on the doorstep. They're going to give it to Rondé Lyle. He cuts to the left. He breaks a tackle, and he plows in. Touchdown! Raiders! And the Raiders take the lead here at Nanaimo District Secondary School. It's the hometown boy, Rondé Lyle, running off the left side, and he got in for the touchdown. Cole, what did you see on that one?
A tremendous amount of toughness there from Rondé, not known for his ability to get hit and keep on ticking or fall forward. He's able to meet first and second contact there, fall into the end zone, and be able to give his team points with the major on the board. Fantastic job there by Rondé Lyle, and also Coach Jake LeBurge, not forgetting about the run, is what kind of brought them down there.
LeBear staying patient with the run, and it's paid dividends. Parker Moscrip, what more can you say about that guy? He has been an absolute monster here today for the Raiders. The score is 16-13, the extra point to come from McQueen. And we talked about trading field goals for touchdowns, Cole. It's not a recipe for success for the Valley Huskers. As you see a penalty flag down there in the back of the end zone, we'll wait to see what that one is. Usually when it comes from the official all the way there in the back, it's in the vicinity of too many men. As if it was on the side judge there, it'd be more of the offside, lined up in the neutral zone type situation. I'm thinking this one, it's on the Raiders, and we will redo the kick here. I'll tell you what, Cole, 16-13, the Raiders with the lead. This is a big extra point to come here. The difference between a 3-point game and a 4-point game, every football fan knows, is quite a bit.
The man with the $1 million name, Cole McQueen, out.
Can he put this one through? This is a big one. They don't call him the man with $1 million name for nothing. Cole McQueen puts the extra point through. He makes no mistake, and the Raiders have a 17-13 lead here in the fourth quarter. Cole, this is going to be a heck of a fourth quarter battle. We remember last year the corner route, Sadler Smith to Ruben Bonsu, that gave the Raiders a late lead. Cole, I said it before, if we get half the football game that was, we are in for a dandy here tonight. It's shaping up to be just that in terms of the finish here at the Q.
I mean, how could we ask for any better game for our debut here, Noah? Week number 4, we've been waiting, long awaited to make our debut here up in the booth, and we're getting a fantastic turnout, like you mentioned. I'm very interested to see how this one turns out. As I talked with both coaches before the game, I feel like both these teams are wanting to win this game to take that step in the right direction for them to get that snowball rolling and pushing it down the hill in the right direction to, as I said with talking to them, there's maybe 5-6 teams that are going to be interested in making the playoffs this year.
It's a very competitive BCFC. Is the man with $1 million name. Cole McQueen will boot this one deep, and it's taken there. And it's taken once again by number 20, Grady Andrea. And Andrea's got something here down the right sideline. He's chased from behind, and guess who gets him, Cole? The fastest player on the field for the VI Raiders, Sterling Henry, able to angle him out of bounds.
I mean, this might be another opportunity to maybe play, if anybody's following along at home, maybe a drinking game of how many times we say this over the next 7 or 8 minutes here of how big this drive upcoming is. But this is a massive one for the VI Raiders defense. And if you're the Valley Huskers offense, to maybe have a response here after the Raiders were able to impressively go down and score points.
This is a good opportunity for us to give a few more shout-outs here. I want to give a shout-out to Red's Bakery, the YCD Airport here in Nanaimo, and Advance Health. Thank you for all your contributions you made for the VI Raiders as Dorsey throws on first down and completes the ball. And that is number 80, Peyton Lake, making the catch, and he is all the way down inside the 35. And boy, Cole, this reminds me a lot of a football game we're seeing last year. It's a back-and-forth battle. We do have a player down on the field for the VI Raiders. Is that Colton Finstad, Cole?
It is. Leader of that defense, Colton Finstad. I'm hoping maybe he's looking to maybe stretch it out, like he's maybe got a calf cramp there. Very, very hot day here at NDSS Q Stadium. I believe it is as he's stretching it out. Unfortunate that I do have my fair share of experience of cramping. Definitely one you need to get out. I've tried all the tricks, the mustard, the pickle juice, you name it. That's something that he needs to maybe get a shot of the pickle juice on the sideline.
Finstad does seem to be okay. He's walking off under his own 2 feet. And the Valley Huskers here, Cole, wasting no time. An immediate shot down the sideline there on the deep out cut to their speedy wide receiver, Peyton Lake. They are on the move, and what do you think, Cole?
Terrific play call by Coach Todd Hunter, right? They've been establishing the run that last drive. Jawad Harb is the focal point. They open up with a play-action pass, get Keyshawn Dorsey out of the pocket like that. Peyton Lake schemed up wide open down the field, getting this Valley Huskers offense rolling in the right direction.
All right, first down as the crowd gets back into it. They're going to give it up the middle, and that is number 20. It's the change of pace back. That is Grady Andrea with the carry, and a good-looking carry on first down to make it a second and manageable for the Huskers.
And I quite enjoy that move as a change of pace back from Harb to put in Andrea, the Valley Huskers kick and punt returner, as that very elusive, explosive type of back. He's able to come in there, change of pace, and provide them a spark here.
Yeah, much more shifty than Jawad Harb. Not quite with the same power, obviously, but they're coming at you from both sides there are the Valley Huskers. And they will put Dorsey under center here on 2nd and 3. It's a play fake. And oh, look out! Tanai Wisdom is in the backfield, and he was not falling for any bootleg. Bootleg, you can bootlick that. Tanai Wisdom throws the quarterback down on a sack, and a huge one here, Cole, as now it's going to be a really long field goal attempt for the Huskers on 3rd down and about 8. And so far, Cole, they are lining up to go for this here. They have not sent the field goal team out. There's no indication they're going to do so. It is going to be offense on the field, 3rd down and 8.
I believe it's Turner hit a 37-yarder before. It could be just a tad out of his range and wanting to go for it here. It'll be an interesting one to see if it pans out.
Third down, VI brings an all-out blitz, and Dorsey is hit in the backfield and taken down. It's Max Shipham, was one of the first ones in there, and the Raiders have turned the Valley Huskers over on downs.
Fantastic job by the VI Raiders. Looked like it was just a disaster from the start there by the Valley Huskers. A little bit of a low snap. Dorsey trying to pick it up, fumble with the ball, and the Raiders were able to have pressure immediately on the quarterback and bring him down in the backfield. The Raiders offense is going to come on the field here and be in fairly good field position, taking over in the 40. Speaking about, just to go back there on the previous...
How about the timing of the blitz there, Cole? Third and long, Sean Arabsky sending the house on that one.
Fantastic job. Had Max Shipham come in clean and be able to take down the ball carrier.
Cole, I'm a guy who, when I play Madden, you know what play I'm running every time from the defensive coordinator spot. I'm running that mid-blitz every single play.
I do.
It's a good thing I'm not the defensive coordinator for the Raiders. We'd probably be the most boom-or-bust type of defense in the league. Here's the handoff to Rondé Lyle off the left side, and he's got a gain of about 11 yards. He is all the way out to the 52-yard line. And a good-looking run as the Raiders staying patient with that run, Cole. It's paying dividends here.
How about Rondé Lyle showing a little bit of swagger as well, pointing the first down, moving the chains for his team, running hard for his team as well the last two attempts. So fantastic job by Rondé Lyle moving the chains.
11 minutes to play in the fourth quarter here in Nanaimo. And we'll see if Braden Jupe and the Raiders can take a 2-score lead here on the Valley Huskers. This is an important drive. And they're going to empty out the backfield. Lyle is going to get it hit in the flat, and it's a nice-looking play there. A really good job by number 5, Raiden Maston, coming all the way across from his linebacker spot to break up the pass there, Cole.
Yeah, Maston's been one we've talked about quite a bit. A familiar face around the BCFC. Very talented. Familiar face, as I said. Known for more of his defensive back by title. He moved into that Sam linebacker position this year and doing a fantastic job. As you said, the range there, being able to come from the middle of the field and out to the sideline to break up that pass.
So that will bring up a 2nd down and 10 for the Raiders. And this is a big one here. You don't want to give the ball back to Valley. Their offense has looked good. They're going to put Braden Jupe in the shotgun. The sidecar is Rondé Lyle. He stays in for protection. There's a block on the edge, and there's going to be a holding call, but Jupe is on the run. He throws across his body, and that is not what you want to do if you're Braden Jupe. Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's a tough one for Jupe. That's going to be a killer, that one that you just can't afford to have. Not only quarterback 101, but he just rolling to his right, wasn't able to put enough power on that one and goes right to the defender there. I believe it was Jack Winey, linebacker for the Valley Huskers. And the Huskers are going to take over with a lot of momentum here.
Shades of Brett Favre in the 2009 NFC Championship game, Cole. Rolling there to your right, throwing back across your body. Not enough on that from Jupe, but really the decision is what offensive coordinator Jake LeBerge is going to give him a hard time about in the film room next week at practice. You've got the lead. Your defense is playing pretty well for the most part. Why take that risk, Braden? Okay, 1st down and 10 at the 52-yard line, and Keyshawn Dorsey is in the shotgun, and the sidecar next to him is Harb, and they're going to give it to Harb off the left side. He cuts back, and a tremendous job. And look who's in there again, Cole. Sterling Henry. He has had a really good game today for the VI Raiders.
He, as well as Kyle Saunders, was in on the tackle. Two willing, I know Sterling by title here today playing that Sam linebacker position, but more often than not kind of in the body of a DB. 2 DBs willing to come up and make the tackle and wrap up on Harb, which they need to do their 1/12 as a defense.
Yeah, it's great to see the halves and the corners being willing tacklers here. Haven't heard much from Caleb Thiessen out there at the field corner. They haven't tested him a ton, but I love Caleb. He's a really good-looking young DB from Winnipeg, Manitoba. Here's Dorsey spinning out of trouble. What a spin move it was. Dorsey's got the 1st down. What a heck of a run there by Keyshawn Dorsey, calling his own number, and he's just putting matters into his own hands at this point, Cole.
Yeah, he put Raiders linebacker Colton Finstad in a little bit of a spin cycle there, was able to evade his tackle and maybe make another defender miss to pick up that 1st down. Keyshawn Dorsey, kind of more of what we expected coming into this game. As I said, with the 166 rushing yards coming into this game, good for 4th in the conference in the BCFC. I'm curious to see if the Raiders have a plan here getting into critical time in the 4th quarter, if they're able to, whether it's a spy or keep him contained.
So we got a stoppage in play here, Cole. I'm not sure if you know what this one is. I can't figure it out either.
It looks like the chains might have broke. That's an unfortunate recurring thing here in the Harbor City with the chain gang having it bust on them, unfortunately.
So first down at the 42-yard line, and Dorsey's in the gun. The Raiders bring an all-out blitz. They give it to Harb, and he's tackled there by Colton Finstad and Israel Waitman, cleaning things up there for the Raiders.
I think Coach Rabsky has kind of seen enough here from Jawad Harb and the rushing attack from the Valley Huskers offense, starting to turn up the heat now and send a lot of pressure.
It's going to be a 2nd down and 5, and it's a big one for the Valley Huskers. I sound like an armchair quarterback at home. I'm sure everybody's had an Uncle Cole who's done big 2nd down here. 2nd down and 4, we've all heard it. And here's Dorsey throwing deep down the left side, and the corner route is broken up nicely on the play. And that was Aiden Bytel. And we talked about Bytel, Cole. He came over from West Shore. You got to think Tarek Bryant played a little bit of a factor in his willingness to come to Nanaimo.
Yeah, and a huge benefit anytime you're getting a new player to your team when they bring CDFL experience. As I mentioned before, spent last season with the West Shore Rebels, comes in as a first-year player for the Raiders, but not a first-year player to the league, comes in, I would imagine, very comfortable and makes a play there.
So, again, the Valley Huskers going to go for this on 3rd down and about 5. They're going into the wind. I figured it out, Cole. The wind is blowing right in their face right now. It's a good job by Sean Arabsky to take the win in the 4th quarter. Here comes the blitz off the edge, and they got Dorsey. They got him back all the way back at the 42-yard line. Sterling Henry. Oh, boy, Cole. When we do our players of the game, I think I'm writing down big number 28's name. He's had a whale of a game. And off the edge on the halfback blitz, he gets the sack. And the Raiders have turned the Huskers over for the 2nd time in this 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a game from Sterling Henry here this afternoon. A very versatile player for this Raiders defense. Not only will play halfback for this team, but as I said today, a little bit of adjustments going on for the Raiders defense. They actually started him at the Sam linebacker position here today, and he's made quite the impact. I would imagine Coach Rapsey's not taking him out of that position anytime soon.
Wow, it's been a game of individual outstanding efforts for the Raiders. Sterling Henry on the defensive side. Israel Waitman again also on the defensive side with tackles and interceptions. Tanai with a couple sacks, and Parker Mosgrave on the offensive side. They're going to take a shot. Downfield, he's got Bonsu open! It's overthrown! Oh boy, he had Ruben Bonsu, and that's one of your Braden Jupe. Just take a little bit off of it. You got the speedster there. No need to overthrow him. Just give him a chance, Cole.
Yeah, that was to give a little bit of kudos here to Braden Jupe. That was a fantastic job of getting the ball out early there, not waiting for his receiver to be downfield for you to think that you have that strong arm. To get the ball out early, he just didn't put enough air under it, and unfortunately they were not able to be on the same page and connect on that deep ball.
2nd down and 10. Bonsu and Jupe have been unable to get on the same page today as far as deep balls are concerned. Valley shows a 3-man rush. That's all they're going to bring. There's all the time in the world for Jupe. He throws the in-cut and gets the 1st down to Blaze McCarty. McCarty able to convert there on 2nd down and long. And a good-looking dig route there from the man from the United States of America, Cole.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I don't even mind. I feel like giving away a few of these secrets. Pittsburgh, the post sit there from the VI Raiders, something that they've been running for decades at this point. If you're a VI Raiders alumni listening to this one, I would imagine you've ran this in the past. Something that they go to quite often, and Blaze McCarty able to connect from Braden Jupe.
1st down, and they are just on their own side of the field of 53. They're going to put Jupe in the shotgun, and is that Parker Mills? Parker Mills is in at running back. He's a good pass protector, and they're going to set up the screen to Mills, and Mills has got it. Mills cuts upfield. Mills with a gain of about 6 there. A good-looking screen pass, drawing the rush in, letting him come in, dumping it off on the screen to Parker Mills. And Cole, for a second here, just talk about the loss of Owen Giancola as the 2nd back. I felt like it was going to be kind of a diverse backfield, splitting carries between the power back Giancola and the speed back Lyle. With the departure of Giancola, it really is Rondé Lyle as the workhorse here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a tremendous loss for the VI Raiders team. I think I reminded you last season, Noah, they really started to utilize their Wildcat package with Rondé Lyle as well as Giancola into the game. So going to be a loss for the team this year.
Jupe's going to take a shot down the middle for Mosgrip, and he's unable to hold on to that one. And Mosgrip is frustrated with himself. Parker, nothing to be ashamed of. You've had a whale of a game here, but that is one that he might. I've seen Parker make tougher catches than that, but it will bring on a punting effort from the Raiders. It is a 3rd down and 5 here. Cole, you got something to say?
Yeah, Raiden Masson, the one in on the coverage there, and the one that broke up that pass from Parker Moscrip. Catchable ball, but might have been a tad or two behind, giving the opportunity to Masson to break up that pass. Nonetheless, Masson, no surprise, has been a terrific player here for the Huskers defense.
How many times are they going to call Parker Moscrip's number deep down the middle of the field? The Raiders run McQueen onto the field late. The man with the $1 million name is back there. Are we thinking fake here for the Raiders, Cole? Let's take a look. There's a lot of communication. Let's see what they do here. It is a fake, and they're going to snap it to McQueen. It's going to be an onside punt. And you got to get down there if you're the Raiders. It's going out, and if he could have touched it in Canada, Cole, it's last man to touch it, gets the ball. Unfortunately, that one going out of bounds.
I absolutely love the idea from special teams coordinator Tarek Bryant. We actually saw that one at practice when I was able to take in 2 practices this week. Saw them scheming that up, taking the chance to get their reps in at practice just a little bit too far, and unfortunate they weren't able to execute on that one. That would have been a tremendous play for them if Bytel was able to catch it, and as you said, knock it out of bounds would have been their possession.
Special teams coordinator Tarek Bryant going deep into the bag of tricks there, but nonetheless, it sets the Valley Huskers up. Not too bad a starting field position, 36-yard line. It doesn't hurt the Raiders too much either. It was a good kind of that area of the field to try something like that, as you don't give up immediate good field position. The Huskers starting the same place, around the same place they would if there was a touchback. So here is Dorsey, and another blitz by the Raiders is coming, and we got penalty markers down. There's a whistle.
I know Coach Rabsky already likes to send pressures, likes to be very multiple in his fronts. They are just throwing the absolute phone book at Keyshawn Dorsey right now. They are sending a ton of pressure right now.
I love to see it, Cole. I hate to say it, man. I love a defensive coordinator that sends pressure. Cole, who do you think my favorite defensive coordinator is in the NFL?
Well, I believe he was formerly of the Miami Dolphins, your team. Maybe actually not.
My team.
I was going to say maybe a Brian Flores type of defensive coordinator that comes to mind, but
Brian Flores, Cole, he is my favorite defensive coordinator in the NFL because the relentless pressure, the double A-gap look, he'll put 2 guys in the A-gap and drop them out at the last second. It's a lot to prepare for if you're an offensive coordinator and a quarterback. And I feel like Sean Arabsky is sending a lot of the same type of pressures here, Cole. He's bringing the kitchen sink at Keyshawn Dorsey.
Yeah, Brian Flores, speaking about Minnesota, really kind of turned around that defense similarly to the Raiders with Sean really turning around this defense. You know, a lot of scores that went the opposite way for them in the past years, and this has really turned around when Coach Arabsky took over the defense.
So a 2nd down here, and they're going to get it to the big fella, and Harb is close to that 1st down. It looks like he's got it. And the Huskers continue to march on here as we come up on 4 minutes to play in this football game. It feels like it flew by, Cole, despite all the penalty flags. It's been a fun one today. I hope we get a great finish.
I believe we're going to get a good finish. Tremendous atmosphere here at NESSQ Stadium as the 4th quarter is going to wind away here. Just feeling very lucky right now, feeling very blessed as we are covering this game. Think about this, Noah. We're talking football right now, buddy. A tremendous opportunity and just good time with my good buddy.
A tremendous sense of gratitude, I feel, Cole, here. Getting a chance to live out a childhood dream and calling a really high-level football game here. Here is Dorsey on a 1st and 10, and the give is up the middle, and it's Harb again, and he is a hard man to bring down. He's got a hard-earned 5 on 1st down. Yeah,
Harb is hard to bring down, that's for sure. I'm very interested to see how much they start to lean on him, as actually Harb is going towards the sideline. We're going to see change of pace back. Grady Andrea come into the game for the Huskers. Maybe just wanting to give a little bit of a blow here for Harb, keep him fresh for this drive as they are hoping to get into scoring range.
It's been a fun one to watch. Noah Atnikov here with you, Cole McGarvey by my side. We are going to get a fantastic finish here in Nanaimo. And here is the give, and Andrea cuts back, and he's got the 1st down. He's inside the 50, and they continue to move this ball with the run game, Cole.
Yeah, it's going to be curious to see as we tick down here. Under 3 minutes, 17-13 lead for the VI Raiders. And the Huskers with the ball, moving the chains here. This Raiders defense and Coach Arabsky, I would imagine this is exactly how they want this game coming down to, with them on the field and Coach Arabsky having the game in his hands.
We have hit the 3-minute warning here as the referees give the signal to both benches and the players on the field. The Huskers are ready to go. You can tell. They are excited to finish this game. They know they got heartbroken last year by the Raiders in a late last-second touchdown pass to Ruben Monsu. They are hoping for a late last-second touchdown of their own here to take the lead against the VI Raiders. But defensive coordinator Sean Arabsky on the other side, Cole, looking for one last stop from his defense to hopefully end this game. The referees are just communicating here. This is a packed stadium we have here, Cole. When you look at the stands, it's been a while since we've seen this kind of crowd here in Nanaimo in a football game.
Yeah, I quite enjoy the packed far stands away from us. A little bit of construction actually going on here at Q Stadium, so the near side stands and bleachers were actually taken out for this week's contest. So that far sideline is quite packed, and even in the end zones as well.
So first down, we're going to give it to Andrea. He's off the right side, and he's got a gain of about 5 as the Huskers continue to lean on that run. Grady Andrea pounding out the hard yards. A big second down and 5 coming up here for the Valley Huskers as you get the play blown in. The play clock is, in fact, turned off. We've had some issues with it here. So, as you talked about, Cole, kind of nice sometimes. The referee gives you the benefit of the doubt, giving you a little bit of extra time on that play clock. Second down and 5. They put Dorsey in the shotgun. There's 3 to the bottom of the screen. And they're going to give it. And this time the Raiders are in on it. And it was Declan Robbins, who happens to be my roommate. Declan Robbins in on a huge tackle to bring up a 3rd down and 8 for the Valley Huskers. And the game, I don't want to say it's on the line here, Cole. A lot can happen in the last 3 minutes in Canada, but this is a huge play forthcoming.
Yeah, I love to see Declan make the play there. A tremendous player for the Raiders. Veteran player for the Raiders, but a very selfless player, right? Whether he's in the starting lineup or he's coming in for some rotational snaps, he's always going to give it his 110%.
3rd down. Huge play in the ball game. Blitz by the Raiders. Dorsey with time. Rolling to his right. He gets out of there. He throws on the run. It's too high. It's intercepted. It's picked off. It's Israel Waitman. Go down, Izzy. Go down, Izzy. Go down, Izzy. He's down. The Raiders have the ball back. And the Raiders are 1 minute and 52 seconds away from wrapping up a Week 4 CJFL victory here in Nanaimo.
PSA to the BCFC, but the new biggest ball hawk in the conference has arrived. Israel Waitman, I believe it is now 6 interceptions in 3 games. Started the season with 3 up in Kamloops, 2 last week versus the Okanagan Sun, and is able to have, 1 versus Okanagan Sun and 2 here this week. Israel Waitman, with his range, his ability to intercept the ball, create those extra possessions here for this offense, and hopefully close out if they're able to pick up some first downs here to finish out and run out this clock.
We enter what we call in the NFL, Cole, the 4-minute offense. It's more like the 2-minute offense in Canada because the clock stops and it's a 20-second play clock. I don't know how many timeouts the Huskers have left. Maybe you can hook me up with that intel. But it's a first down for the Raiders at their own 30-yard line. Jake Diaz to snap it back. Expect a run here from the Raiders. And they will give it to Rondé Lyle. And Lyle cuts upfield. Lyle's got a first down. A good-looking first down carry for Rondé Lyle. And the Raiders, that's how you start the drive, Cole.
Another massive hole there opened up by the VI Raiders offensive line. You absolutely love to see it this late in the football game, starting to impose their will and open up some of those run lanes. Rondé Lyle is able to hit those holes and continue to turn and move those chains.
First down for the Raiders as the clock is blown in by the senior official. And we will get the finish we were hoping here, Cole. Braden Jupe is under center on first down. The Raiders are probably 2 first downs away from ending this football game. They're going to give it to Lyle off the left side, and he's chugging ahead, and Rondé Lyle, not known for his power, but he's churning out the hard yards here. A gain of 8 on first down.
Love to see it. As I mentioned, the VI Raiders offensive line really starting to impose their will now, starting to get that push, starting to create that little bit of traffic and chaos for those linebackers for the Valley Huskers, not being able to sift through it and come through clean, and it's really showing here late in the ball game.
The Raiders, second down and 2. There is 1 minute and 23 seconds to go in the game. As I mentioned before, they are probably 2 first downs away from being able to kneel this one out. This is a huge second down and 2. Number 7 there, Jack Winey, being sent off to the sideline, getting some last-minute instructions from his coach there.
Jack Winey's actually a player that I wanted to watch coming into this season. Comes with quite a bit of pedigree, actually. I believe he played in the NCAA in the Division III level, actually down in the States. We've seen the boom here in the recruiting of the international players going down into the States and bringing them up here to Canada and being able to find them homes here. We've seen it now in multiple and almost you could say every of the 7 programs.
So this is it. A huge 2nd down and 2 for the Raiders. You get whistles pre-snap.
We have a Husker player that just went down on the play. I believe that's number 12 that went down. Adam Greenhill down in the field there for the Huskers. You know, I'm curious what Coach James Moore, defensive coordinator, has up his sleeve here for the Valley Huskers. I feel like surprise running the ball if you're the VI Raiders, right? You have to load that box up and you really have to, hope that you can shut them down and get the ball back here with maybe under a minute to go.
Could be a good time for that H-slice motion with Parker Mosker, hey Cole?
It could.
If I know Jake LeBerge, and I think I know him pretty well, I've only known him for a couple of years, but you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it. I think it's going to be RPO with the slice motion. We'll see.
Massive 2nd down here.
Here comes Moskrip on that slice motion. Then they're looking for him. There he is, Parker Moskrip. I called it. I'll take credit for it, Cole. And the Raiders will take credit for having a 1st down deep in Valley territory and an opportunity to run this clock out here.
No, I feel like I should just throw it back to you. Fantastic job for you looking into the crystal ball there and calling that one. Slice motion by Parker Moskrip coming out of the backside of that play. Comes wide open and is able to pick up the 1st down pending these flags.
We'll wait to check on the call. The penalty flags are down. In the area of a late hit, I might assume, Cole, maybe jumping the gun a little bit here if it's me. It is on the Valley Huskers, and it is going to be a big one. It's going to put the Raiders close to field goal range, and it is of the 15-yard variety. A major foul on the Valley Huskers that puts the ball all the way down to the 34-yard line, excuse me. It's right on the brink of field goal range, but I feel like if you're the Raiders, this is 3-down territory here. Try and end the game a la Dan Campbell for the Detroit Lions. Put your foot on their throat, end the game. 1st down, and Braden Jupel hand off the left side, and they swarm Rondé Lyle, but look at the strength of Lyle, staying on his feet and gaining a couple extra yards. It'll bring up a 2nd down and about 7 here for the Raiders.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the attitude that Lyle's running with here in the 2nd half, refusing to go down on first contact and continuing to churn out yards. Even though a short pickup there, much better than getting met in the backfield or around the line of scrimmage.
A timeout called. That is the final one for the Valley Huskers. And this is a huge 2nd down and 7. Can't overstate how big this one is, Cole. 1 minute and 9 seconds to go. The Raiders, here's the dilemma, Cole. You throw the ball and it hits the ground, you're going to have to give the ball back to the Valley Huskers with 1 minute 09 to go. You throw the ball and get the 1st down, the game is over. You run the ball, you keep the clock running. What do you say here, old Cole McGarvey?
I think I'm continuing to run the football here and believing in that offensive line who's continuing to set and impose their will here in the 2nd half. Opening up run lanes for Rondé Lyle, and at worst case, you continue to move that clock. I'm curious here, Noah, with thinking about Cole McQueen, is his range anywhere within the next few yards if they weren't able to get a 1st down, if they're able to trot him out and continue to try? Double-edged sword with that, because if you do miss, you give the Valley Huskers almost instant field goal position, instant field position to have an opportunity to tie this game.
Cole, I've seen him kick 40-yarders in practice. It's a little inconsistent, but he does have the leg to get it there from 40. The accuracy may be the question. 2nd down and about 7 for the Raiders. They put Jupe in the shotgun, and let's see how much offensive coordinator Jake LeBerge trusts Braden Jupe. There's a flag pre-snap, and if this is on the Raiders, Cole, this is going to be a costly penalty. So now, Cole, you're backed up another 5. I don't think you're in field goal range anymore. This would be about a 42-yarder for McQueen. He's got a good leg. He's got a $1 million name, but he's not quite a CFL kicker just yet. Let's see what Jake LeBerge does here on 2nd and 13. I don't know if I want to test my 1-for-1 streak on guesses on play calls, but I see Lyle in the backfield. I see the receivers a little slow to run on the line here, not quite as excited. I think a run's coming right here. Play it safe. It will be Lyle. I'm 2 for 2 on the day, and Rondé Lyle takes the ball to about the 29-yard line, and now it's decision time for the Raiders, and here comes the man with the $1 million name, Cole McQueen.
Easy decision if you're special teams coordinator Tarek Bryan or head coach Sean Arabsky that's making the decision here. You punt this ball, you try to pin them down into their goal line, you trust your defense that they're not going to be able to march 90 some odd yards down the field and end up putting it in the end zone.
It's interesting, Cole. I assumed that when McQueen was coming out, he was going to try the field goal attempt. They are going to punt from the 30-yard line. It's something you wouldn't see in the CFL, but it's probably a smart decision in the CJFL, and it's off the side of the foot of McQueen. It's into the end zone, and it's going to lay around there. He better get on this thing, and he will get tackled immediately by the Raiders and give up the single. So the Valley Huskers are going to have one more opportunity here to try and take the lead in this ball game. The Raiders clinging to a 4-point lead. The Valley Huskers trying to do what the Raiders did to them. There's 41 seconds to go here.
My apologies, no. It's actually 18-13 after that single. I'm curious to know if that was the play that they wanted to execute there on special teams with the ball rolling in the end zone for the single point, or if they just a simple just kind of miss hit by Cole McQueen there with the ball rolling into the end zone.
So the single does give them the extra point. It's 18-13. Regardless, it's a one-touchdown game, and Keyshawn Dorsey with a chance to do something very important for the Valley Huskers, but not before we've got whistles down.
Timeout, VI Raiders.
So defensive coordinator Sean Arabsky didn't like what he saw there and calling the timeout, and it'll give his defense a chance to regroup here with the game on the line. And 41 seconds should be on the clock. They got to add the extra 5. There's 36 left, but that play should not have counted. There was a timeout called by Arabsky pre-snap. They put 41 back on the clock, and we are all set and good to go here, as this is what dreams are made of for young Keyshawn Dorsey.
We're seeing some different personnel here from the Raiders as Chris Cicconi's in at middle linebacker. Colton Finstand moved over. Caleb Charlton or Max out on the field.
Dorsey scampering to his right. He's on the run. Dorsey chased from behind, and they got him. Chris Ciccone, the guy who played football right here at Nanaimo District Secondary School. How's that for your first career sack, Chris Ciccone?
Love to see it. Some might say roll green, baby. As a fellow NDSS alumni, I love to see Chris Ciccone making the play. He's actually the lone NDSS alumni on the VI Raiders this year. I guess I shouldn't say that with Coach Jeremy Chang on the staff though as well.
It's a low snap that gets by Dorsey. He's chased from by Tanai Wisdom. The ball's on the ground. It's picked up by the offensive lineman. It doesn't matter. The VI Raiders are going to be in third down and forever. Third down and a country mile for the Valley Huskers here. Disaster striking with the first bad snap of the game to Dorsey. 25 seconds to go in the ball game.
Yeah, that might have been Tanai's third sack of the ball game, if that is. Coming into the game with 3 sacks, could be up to 6, contending for the league lead with the Okanagan Sun Patriots with a few of those guys who have been phenomenal this season.
Could be time to make a call to Mary, and it doesn't matter. He's not going to get that opportunity because Tanai Wisdom throws him to the ground, and the VI Raiders are going to go to 2-1.
Heck of a outing here for Tanai Wisdom and a few of the players, if we're quite frank, talking about Izzy Waitman, Sterling Henry on this defense for the VI Raiders. A huge focal point for this victory here tonight. Going to be curious to see how Coach Rabsky feels after the game after this one.
It's going to be a great post-game interview. What a heck of a football game this was. We saw offense, we saw fireworks, we saw big passing plays, we saw big running plays, but in the end, it's the defenses that carry this football game for both the Valley Huskers and the VI Raiders, but the VI Raiders defense making the final play that ends this football game. Tanai Wisdom now with 6 sacks on the season. I can't wait to see that big fella. He's going to be fired up. The VI Raiders, they are in the best formation in football, Cole. You know what that's called?
Victory on one.
Victory on one.
Love to see it. I had a few of those throughout my career coming into the game late. Actually, 4 offense coordinator here, Jake LeBurge, coming in. A little bit of garbage time, some might say, to get the knee dirty. Love it.
Taking the knee is Braden Jupe. They run the clock. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And there has to be one final play in Canada. There's Braden Jupe taking the knee. And the gun sounds, and the VI Raiders have won this football game. Their second year in a row defeating the Valley Huskers. They moved to 2-1 on the season, and what a huge victory this is for the Raider Nation, Cole.
Yeah, absolutely. Huge win for the Raider Nation. Talking about Raider Nation, 2-1 on the season, and now 1-0 here on home turf. I think a fabulous job by the VI Raiders at setting the tone, not only here in today's game, but at home of how things and how they want games to be played here at NDSSQ Stadium.
A defensive-minded head coach, Sean Arabsky. I tip my hat to you. Not a bad defensive effort today for the VI Raiders. They pick up the win. The Raiders go to 2-1. The Valley Huskers, a very strong effort in defeat. They fall to 0-3. And the VI Raiders have got to feel good about this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I was talking with both coaches before this game and kind of felt similarly about both teams of the importance of this victory, showing that urgency late in the fourth quarter here. And for whatever team, this was going to be a massive victory for them going forward to hopefully get that momentum going in the right direction. Now the Vancouver Island Raiders are hoping that that's going to be them.
Who do we got next week, Cole?
We actually have a back-to-back coming up with the VI Raiders hosting the West Shore Rebels here from NDSSQ Stadium. And then we will turn around a week later and take on the West Shore Rebels once again down in Langford, setting up a huge back-to-back 2 weeks with the Island rival taking over. And a huge opportunity here for the Raiders to, say they split in the next 2 games with the West Shore Rebels, handling their business here in the next few weeks as they actually host, I believe it's the Prince George Kodiaks here in a number of weeks, 3 of the next 4 weeks at home. A tremendous opportunity to get 3 victories at home. Definitely,
Cole. Let's talk about our players of the game. We're going to wrap this up in about 2 minutes here, but quickly, Cole, we'll do our players of the game. On offense, I got to think it's going to be one of 2 guys. You going with Mosscrip, you going with Rondé Lyle?
I'll serve it up and I'll let you go with Mosscrip. I'm going to obviously give mine to Rondé Lyle. Tremendous job here in the second half, maybe more specifically with his tough running and being able to turn out those tough yards, those first downs, especially when the Valley Huskers were knowing that was the situation the game's in.
And on the defensive side of the ball, Cole, are you giving it to Waitman or are you giving it to Sterling Henry?
I mean, with
how about Tanai Wisdom?
Yeah.
There's some good choices here.
With the finish from Tanai Wisdom, hard not to give it to him, but I got to give it to Izzy Waitman. I feel like he generated the 2 game-changing plays, the momentum-changing plays with his interceptions, being able to stunt both drives for the Valley Huskers not being able to find points. So I'm going to go with Izzy Waitman and Rondé Lyle giving 2 of my game balls here today.
That is all she wrote from the Q Field here in Nanaimo, British Columbia. We thank you for tuning in and listening wherever you might be across this beautiful country of Canada. I'm Noah Atnikov signing off. Great, good night, everybody.